Yeah.
All right, then. Thank you. So the plan is for us to record this call. So anybody who missed the session can come back to watch what we have talked about and we'll also make it available as well for everyone. So like I said, welcome to ScholarWaka 2.0. We are really excited to welcome you all again to this session. Our plan is we promise and we will ensure that we host this workshop occasionally just to also keep you guys, informed with what you need to do and how you need to do it. And we are currently in the application season for scholarships for 2027 intake. So usually scholarship applications have their own season. So from May, June to like April next year, you will see what people open for that year's intake. So it's good for you to know what you need to do and how you can begin your preparations and how you can also submit application effectively, which is why we have this workshop and also why we have also invited speakers who have won scholarships. They can also come here to share with you guys, what you need to do and how you can be good at your application. So I hope you came prepared with your paper, your biro, your pen, your questions. Yeah, because it's all for you. So please ensure that you have all your information, all your questions ready. Next slide, please. Okay, so here is a little bit about me, founder of Wow Found. I say Wow Foundation, founder of ScholarWaka. Yeah, many of you already know what we do at ScholarWaka, and ScholarWaka was giving birth. I think we were about a year, 6 months old, ScholarWaka, and our goal is to ensure that many of you know that scholarship exists. I don't want to talk about my life history. I don't want to go back to, the beginning of my story, right? But just to let you guys know that I came from a very humble family. I am someone that I really had a goal, I had a plan, I had a dream that, oh, Lucy wants to be somewhere, want to be a great girl in the future. And I knew that my father, the whole of my family combined together, we can't afford to make my dream come true. And it was through scholarship that I find myself here in the UK and I'm living my dream, studying my dream course. Now, practicing in the UK as an engineer. All is because through scholarship. And many people do not know that these opportunities exist or even know how they can also access the opportunity, which is why we have ScholarWaka to give you guides, those guides. All the file that I founded ScholarWaka, I've applied for several scholarships, applied for over 25 scholarships when I was looking for scholarships, wrote emails to over 45 professors across the world while I was looking for scholarship, and until I won the fully funded Commonwealth Scholarship in 2021. And other than those practical experience, I have also worked as a scholarship program manager, where I also have the practical experience of what scholarship committee members look for. So when I tell you do this, know that you are learning, you are hearing from somebody who already went through that application process or who went through that journey. So follow who know road. Do. Follow Uno Road. So that's why we are here to share with you everything you need to know about Scholar Waka. Okay, yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Next slide, please. You can also drop your questions in the comments as I'm talking through my slide. You can drop your questions. After my slides, I have some time for us to take some questions before the next speaker comes up. So drop your questions in the comments or have them written down. I will have a couple of minutes to answer your questions. So a little bit about ScholarWaka. We are a trusted platform that is dedicated to connecting individuals to global opportunities. Whether you want to apply for scholarships, you want to apply for internships, you want to apply for fellowships, we have all of this information on our website and they are there because of you and for you. And our goal is to ensure that we provide up-to-date information, well-researched information for you to have access to these opportunities so you can achieve your academic and career goals. And our goal at Scholar Waka is very simple. Very, very simple goal. Our goal is we want to, next slide, please, please. And our goal at ScholarWaka is also very simple. We want to empower individuals by providing access to these opportunities. So when we talk about scholarships, we want to ensure that many persons have access to these opportunities and also how they can apply for them. And we have a very big vision. We want to be among one of the global leading platform who impacts people, who show people how to find opportunities, how to apply for them, and how to secure scholarship. So personally, I just believe that regardless of your financial background, whether you are from a rich family or a poor family, everybody deserves an opportunity to win a scholarship, and you can actually get this opportunity through fully funded scholarship. So you know your dream, your goal to move abroad or study your dream course as well, you can achieve that. Just like the ways Commonwealth made my life or made my dream come true. To move to the UK with my family and also for me to study my dream course and now practicing my dream profession here in the UK. Next slide, please. Okay, so now about the workshop piece. Do you want to go for this?
Jamie is doing that.
Okay, hi Jamie, over to you. Hi Jamie, we can't hear you if you're speaking.
Jamie, I'm unmuting you. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So, our workshop is to share awareness. Um, our workshop is to share awareness focused and insights driven, not deep dive or step-by-step training. So this workshop is to share with interested people um, who wants to apply for scholarships um, for the application season of 2027. So yeah, we're going to teach you guys and hold your hands for you guys to learn how to find and win global scholarships, right? So finding the right scholarships and also preparing effectively. So we're going to hear and learn from successful scholars who have won several scholarships. That those are our speakers for today. So they'll be putting us through and holding our hands. If you have any questions, you can just let them know and then they will answer. Thank you.
Next slide, please. And here are our speakers. So we are expecting three amazing speakers today who will be talking us through the scholarship they won and particularly sharing with us their strategy on what they think worked for them and how you can also position yourself to also apply for your own scholarship. So what I'm going to let you know is if Faith is speaking about how she won Commonwealth scholarship, take that advice or those tips for you to also add to your own application. So you must not apply for Commonwealth for you to see the need for you to take Faith's advice or tips or how she won her own scholarship. So whatever ideas or tip anybody is sharing with us in this call today is for you to generally use those information to help you across as you apply for different scholarships throughout the application season. So I also know that many persons who are also looking to apply for the Chevening scholarships, Commonwealth scholarship, and even scholarships as well in the US. So this is open to you learning how this works, what these scholars did during the application process, and also how they were also able to secure the applications. Okay, next slide, please. Now, during this call, like Jamie earlier said, this is just a high level clarity classes session. We're not going to dive deep into how you should actually do this because that is like a whole intensive class, which we do through our scholarship mentorship class. But here in this call, just for you to understand how scholarship works and the requirement, and then each speakers are going to also share with us, for instance, Faith to talk about how you can prepare for applications early and how you can also build a competitive profile because to apply for a scholarship is way more than, oh, I have B's and A's, or it's also more than, oh, I did not get with a good grade. I had a 2-2 or I had a third class. There are more to academics record when applying for scholarship. So Faith is going to talk us through that. And then for those who are applying for competitive scholarships like Chevening Scholarship, also going to hear from Brighton, who will share his experience with us. And then if you're looking for scholarships as well in the US, um, someone is also going to take us through that. But like I said earlier, whatever tips we share with you can be applied to any scholarships you apply for, whether in Canada, in US, in Australia, in whatever country. You can also replicate these tips and guide, for those scholarships. Okay, next slide, please. Now, I am going to take the first session. Like you saw in the agenda for today, we have four major sessions, and I will take the lead on the first session. So the first one talking about understanding global scholarships. Next slide, please. So this is where I want you all to really understand the foundation of scholarships. Many people still do not understand how scholarship works or different scholarships. So it's good for you to really understand what are the different scholarships that I currently have available and which one can I apply for. Because once you understand what you are looking for, it also saves time for you. It also helps to be able to plan well and also apply well. Okay, so scholarships are financial aids that are given to applicants who are seeking funding for them to go back to school. And when you get scholarship, you are not expected to pay back. Although some scholarships, we have their own conditions, which looks like you are paying back what has been given to you. But in the ways of their paying back, you're not paying back to them the money that they have spent on you. So they're not loaning you the money to go to school. They're giving it to you based on the need of why you have applied for the scholarship or based on their own criteria. So the different type of scholarship, which I'm going to talk about shortly. So this can be academic-based scholarship, talent-based scholarship, or based on your financial need. So these are the different scholarships that are there. But let's dive a little bit deep into different type of scholarship. Now, these are the different scholarship funding type. It's also very important for you to know the different options that are available so that when you are looking for scholarship, you also know if you want to spend the time to look at a particular scholarship or not. The first one is fully funded scholarship. This is the one that covers all of your expenses. That was the one I got. That was the one Faith, one of our speakers, got. That's also the one Brighton got. I'm not sure how comprehensive funded Samuel, our third speaker, got, but fully funded means that they will pay all your full tuition fee, they will cover your living expenses, they will cover your visa costs, they will cover your travel costs, your health insurance. So it depends on the particular scholarship and what they add as incentive for a fully funded scholarship. Okay, there are also some called partially funded scholarships. These are the ones that may only pay maybe part of your tuition fee or all of your tuition fee. And then they may then add some other incentive. Maybe they will add only your living expenses. Maybe they will not cover your visa costs. They will not cover your travel costs. So like I said, different scholarship have what they give out to. So just for you to know which one do I want to apply for based on your need. During my time, I knew that pay everything for me. I can't afford to cover any expenses. That was what I was looking for during my time when I was looking for scholarship. I remember I won some partial scholarships, I think in Thailand and for two other countries. I won some partial scholarship, but I couldn't still afford to pay the complete tuition fee. So I knew that what would work better for me is something that is fully funded or at least have a better funding benefit. And there are also some schools as well that also provide tuition only scholarship. So this one, they only cover your tuition fee. Your stipend when you are in the country, they don't give anything to you. Only full tuition fee they cover. So if you feel like a school or a scholarship can cover only your full tuition fee, it's also an option for you to also look at for. Okay, so next slide, please. And these are also other types of scholarships. So when you are also applying for scholarship, it's also important for you to understand what does the scholarship require or what is this type of scholarship I am applying for. So for instance, many scholarships are based on academic and merit based. So this means that they want to see how well you have good academic record. I would say many scholarship uses this particular requirement because they want to invest in you, right? And they also want to see that you have good record. However, this does not mean that if, for instance, you're applying for a scholarship and you have a 2-2, for instance, you can't apply for it. So just for you to know, right? So academic and merit-based scholarship is something that is very practical when applying for scholarship. But these are what we break down really well during our scholarship mentorship class. And then there are also some specific field type of scholarship, like if you're applying for scholarship in STEM, in nursing, in public health, you will see this as well in the scholarship that you are applying for. Some are also need-based scholarship. This an example of scholarship is Mastercard Foundation scholarship. They give scholarship to those who are very needy, and you must prove to them that you don't really have the money. That is when they will ask you to show maybe bank statement of your family members and your village people so they can know that truly this person does not have the money. So know the one you are applying for, because if it is a need-based scholarship, they will surely request that you submit a financial record, maybe 6 months bank statement or 1 year bank statement, for them to confirm that you truly is a needy applicant for the scholarship. While some as well, which is very popular during this application season, is a government or university-based scholarship. For instance, currently the Brazilian government scholarship is open for those who want to apply for master's scholarship and PhD scholarship. I just shared that scholarship now on my YouTube channel this morning. It's also on the ScholarWaka website. The Brazilian government scholarship, I think the Japan government scholarship closed a couple of days ago. The Poland as well. Poland government scholarship also closed a couple of days ago. Romania government scholarship is there. So different government of different countries also offers different scholarship. Likewise, some universities. So also on the ScholarWaka website, you can also see the different scholarships that, different bodies or different organizations also offer. Okay, next slide, please. I'm also keeping track of my time because of the next speaker. Okay, I'm still on track. Now, what do scholarship providers look at for? Like I said earlier, academic excellence is something that many scholarship want to look at for. They want to ensure that they're giving they're investing into someone who actually is also good academically. So if you can, let's say you are still in school, planning to apply for scholarship in the future, please graduate or get a good grade as much as you can. However, if you do not have a good grade, That is where leadership and impact comes in to help complement your grade. But on the other hand as well, if you also have a good grade, leadership and impact is also part of what you should also have to also help improve your application. Let me say, yeah, your application. What's the word? To help enhance your applications, right? So know that academic grade is very important. Leadership and impact is very important, which I think Faith is going to talk about in details during her own session, how you can also build your profile through leadership. And through leadership, this does not mean that you have to be a president of your country or do something big. It could be maybe in your church, in your school, in your classroom. You are making impact, you are initiating changes, initiating solutions. So these are the kind of persons that they look at for when you apply for scholarship. You also need to have a very clear vision and purpose for what you want to study. For instance, if you want to study nursing, why are you choosing the course nursing? What is your long-term goal to study nursing? And how does this course impact or affect your country, you, or wherever you are going to have this study in? So a very clear vision is also very important. And lastly, whatever scholarship you are applying for should also align to the mission or the goal of the scholarship funders. For instance, if you're applying for Commonwealth Scholarship, for instance, their goal is they want you to come to the UK to learn in the UK and then for you to replicate whatever you are learned back home when you go back to your home country, however you want to do, whether you want to go back to your own country or not. So it's good for you to also understand how you can align your goal, your applications, your everything about you and your applications to the scholarship vision and goal as well. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, now let's dive a little bit into scholarship applications. Like I said, I'm not going to go really deep into this, but we will try to ensure that we give you like a very clear roadmap. So the first thing about applying for scholarship is, first of all, you need to plan your application process, which is why we are here in this call today. The goal of this call is let us plan these application windows. You have to plan and make research of what you think you would apply for. And the secret is, even if scholarship is not yet open, still go find them and have them on your list in your on your tracker or whatever or wherever you keep your scholarship that you have found. Then once you know the scholarship you want to apply for, you begin to prepare your document for those scholarships. Then once application portal opens or as they are open, submit your applications. And then for some scholarship as well, it involves interviews or some of them no interviews. And then before you get to know the outcome of the scholarship. Next slide, please. And here is a very high level summary on how you can prepare and apply for scholarship. The first thing is, if any of you here have been following me on across my social media pages, you will know that I have been talking about preparations and preparing early. If you want to really, really, really win a scholarship, I actually advise that prepare months ahead. For instance, if you could not apply for the Japan scholarship that closed some days ago, it is not bad for you to begin to look at it now against next year applications. That is preparations. So that once it opens this time next year, you already have everything you need to prepare or submit the applications and you have a very strong application. So that's where I talk about early preparations. And now when you're doing your early preparations, you need to also search and identify the scholarships that you want to apply for. ScholarWaka website is there. If you go there, you're going to see scholarships that we have put on our website for like over a year ago. Some will be open later in the year. You can go through our website, which I'm going to also show to you how you can find scholarship on our website. You can go to our website and see scholarships that you can shortlist and you can also apply for in the future. And then check for the criteria to apply for the scholarship. This is also another very, very, very important part of every scholarship you're going to apply for, because every scholarship have their own unique eligibility criteria. They have their own requirements. You can't use what you saw in Japan scholarship to apply for Commonwealth scholarship. It is not possible because every scholarship have what they want you to look at for. So it's good for you to also know how to know these requirements and also how to, prepare them before you submit your application. Also, document preparation is also there. Apply really well on time. So while you are preparing for applications as well, you also need to also prepare yourself for the journey, because trust me, it's not an easy journey. It's stressful, it's overwhelming. At some point, you're going to give up, but then prepare yourself. Set your goals. What do you want to study? What's your preferred course and country? For the course you want to apply to, is this a good course in the country I am going to study? So these are some of the preparations you're also going to do personally for yourself during these preparation times of applying for scholarships or preparing to apply for scholarships. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, I'm getting into FaceTime now. Now, where do you search and where can you find scholarship? So the first place you can also honestly get scholarship information is the ScholarWaka website. Like I said, what we do at ScholarWaka is that we ensure that whatever we share on our website are credible and well-researched information. We go out there, do the dirty work, and then come to our website to simplify it for you to know what to do and how to do it. You can also find scholarships as well on universities' website. There are different universities that offer different scholarships. So you can look at for their funding page on their website or scholarship page on their website. You can find scholarships on their website. Also, the government of different countries also offer scholarships, like the Japan government. Now, if you go to their website, you can find info about their scholarship there. The Poland government, if you go to their site, you're going to find about the scholarship there. So you can also find scholarships on some of these government websites, and as well other NGO and organizations as well who offer scholarships. You can also find them on our website. But here is why ScholarWaka is very unique, right? We help you do all of this search across universities' websites, the government's websites, other organizations' websites, and put everything for you on the ScholarWaka website. And I'm going to show to you shortly how you can find these opportunities as well on the ScholarWaka website. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, next slide. So here is where we are going to talk about an overview of the documents you need to apply for scholarship. Okay, during our scholarship mentorship class, we go deep, we dive deep into how you can actually prepare these documents. Okay, but for this particular call, we're only going to list for you what you need so you can have an idea of, what it should look like, or what it should look like, or what you should have as you are applying or preparing to apply for scholarship. Your ID is very important, or your international passport, your degree certificate or transcript, recommendation letters, your CV, your motivation letter. Tell us why you're applying for the scholarship, your goals, your dream. Scholarship essays, like we all know, is very important as well when applying for scholarship. And then for some scholarship as well, they might need you to show proof of English proficiency, either through a letter from your previous school or through you writing an exam, depending on the scholarship that you are applying to. Then if you're applying for a PhD program or a master's in research program, you need to have a research proposal and also other supplementary document that the scholarship body may request from you. So just note that you might also be needed to provide other documents depending on the scholarship. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, a summary again, how you can, set yourself to start application process. Start early, plan now, and start now. Prepare your document, create your own personal timeline. So this is where I super encourage people to get our scholarship tracker. It's a document that helps you to be able to plan your applications really well. The tracker helps them be able to know when to apply for a particular scholarship and how to apply for a particular scholarship. So you can get our tracker as well from our website, or let us know if you have interest to get one of our tracker. Next slide, please. And I think the next slide will be for me to share my screen. But yeah, next slide, please. I have eaten into FaceTime, so I'm trying to um next slide, please. Okay. So this is where I am going to walk you through ScholarWaka website. Could you go back? I think there's one or two more that I want to talk through very quickly before. Okay, then go forward then. Next slide. So I will come back to walking you through ScholarWaka website shortly. And yeah, this is also how you can connect with us. We are very active across all social media platform. So do want to connect with us on social media platform, on also our WhatsApp group. If you want to reach out to us, that's our email there. And that is also our WhatsApp number. That number is directly to me. So if you have any question, whatever clarity you need, you can reach out to us through our WhatsApp number, or you can also join our WhatsApp group as well, where we share update about different scholarship. Okay, so please, can I share my slide, share my screen now so I can walk them through the ScholarWaka website very quickly?
All right, you can
Okay.
share multiple screen. Allow.
Okay. Okay, so guys, um let me quickly just open my slide so we can talk through ScholarWaka website. So for those who may not know how to find opportunities on the ScholarWaka website, so that's why I just want to share my screen so you guys can know how to look at for ScholarWaka site for opportunity. So here is our beautiful website. It is really, really beautiful. It's Solomon here. I really want to give a shout out to our developer. We have an expert who always beautify our website for us. That's why sometimes you come here and you see changes almost every day. There's something new on our website. So kudos to Solomon, technical guy on the back end. Now, if you come to the ScholarWaka website, here is how you can find scholarship. The first thing is, if you are looking for scholarship, let's say you have a particular country you have interest in, I would say go to scholarship by countries. If you are using your phone, you may see it. If you are using your phone, you will see the three lines. If you click on the three lines on your phone, you're gonna see how you find scholarship by countries or scholarship by level. But if you're using a laptop, this is how it's also they're going to show on your screen. So if you're looking for scholarship according to different countries, just go to scholarship by level, scholarship by countries. And let's say you have interest to study in the UK, for instance, just click on scholarships in UK. If you click on scholarships in UK, all the scholarship you have on our website about UK scholarship, whether undergraduate, whether masters, whether PhD, whether internship, whether fellowships, you're going to find them under the scholarships in UK section. Okay, so let's say you also have interest to study in Europe, for instance. If you click on scholarships in Europe, all we have on our website that is Europe scholarship, you're going to find them under scholarships in Europe. Okay, now if you don't want to go through this part, so let's say you are only looking for undergraduate scholarship and you want to look for scholarship across all countries. For you, anywhere I want to go, anywhere so far the scholarship I want to be there, I will recommend that you go through scholarship by levels. So for instance, you want to apply for undergraduate scholarships and you want to have access to all scholarships across the world. For undergraduate scholarship, just go click on undergraduate scholarship under scholarships by level. Okay, so if I go to scholarship by levels, I'll click on undergraduate scholarships. Here, I'm then going to see all scholarships I can apply for undergraduate program across all countries in the world. Okay, so here's the difference. Scholarship by countries is particularly to a particular country, and you can find scholarship for undergraduate, master's and PhD program. And if you're looking for scholarship by levels, you go to the level you are looking to apply for, and then you're going to find the scholarship across different countries. Okay, so that's how you find scholarships on the website. So when you see a scholarship that you want to apply for, like I said, I will not be able to dive deep into how to apply for scholarship in details because of time. This is what we talk about really well during our mentorship class, but I'll just quickly do a very quick summary. So assuming you want to apply for this particular scholarship, right? It's an undergraduate scholarship in is it Slovak Republic, right? If you want to apply for a particular scholarship, you can go to our website and you're going to see all the information about the scholarship. We already have researched about this scholarship on our own as ScholarWaka, and we have now summarized everything you need to know about this scholarship for you to apply for the scholarship, including the documents you need to apply for the scholarship, how you can apply for the scholarship, the requirements for you to apply for the scholarship. It is here. So every step by step, these are the documents you need to apply for the scholarship, right? Then how to apply, the practical steps. Step one, visit the official portal of the website. Step two, step three, we break down everything for you to see how to apply. And if you also want to confirm if whatever we have shared with you is correct, we also add the link as well to the official scholarship site. So if you click on the link under there, it take you to the scholarship official site where you can also read everything that we have summarized for you, and you can then see how to continue your application. And down our page as well, you're also going to see access to our WhatsApp group and also all our social media pages as well, and many other information that you can also see on our website. And lastly, before I hand over to Faith, here under the scholarship guide, right, you can also see this page is where we share with you different supporting documents or supporting process that can also help you apply for scholarship. For instance, you want to write a CV, you're not sure how to write a CV, just come to scholarship. Just come to our study guides. You're going to get the information how to write a personal statement. So all the how to's to help you to apply, or to help you to guide you to apply for different type of scholarships, we have them here for you as well. So just come back here to look at them. And this also linked to our YouTube channel as well. So if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, so come here as well. I dropped a video this morning on YouTube, a scholarship in Brazil and how you can apply for it. So it's also a very useful place where you can also get guides on also how you can also apply for scholarships. Okay, I think that's it from me. I will just quickly check for I'll stop sharing now. Let me just quickly check if there's any quick question for me. I'm so sorry, Faith, for taking your time, but let me quickly check if there's any question, or let me see any question here. From Marvelous, my question is, what's internship and fellowship? And secondly, is it fully funded scholarship for BSc in nursing? So internship and fellowships are different type of programs you can also apply for. For you who is looking for BSc scholarship, trust me, maybe you may not understand what internship is, but internship is opportunity where you work with organizations for you to build your professional skills. For instance, if you apply and you win a Mastercard Foundation scholarship, they have internship as part of their scholarship programs, right? So that's internship. Usually you do internship when you are on your BSc studies, and you can also do internship as well, even after your BSc studies. Like as ScholarWaka, the people you see that write content on our page, like Peace, Jamie, they are interns with us. They've been interning with us for over a year now, and they are here with us to build their work experience and also build their practical and professional skills as well with the industry. So that's what is internship, and as well as fellowships as well. And secondly, fully funded scholarship for nursing. So yeah, there are scholarships for nursing, but you need to take your time to find them, because for many scholarships that are out there, you may not see nursing on the banner, right? So it's for you to take your time to check each scholarship to know which one you can apply for or if they offer nursing. So there are processes on how to find nursing scholarship. It is very strategic search and process, which I also talk about really well during our mentorship class. So yeah, we can talk about this if you sign up for our mentorship class, so we can teach you as well how to find these opportunities for nursing and also other courses that you may have interest in. So I will pick the session, I'll pick the questions as we go. I think I will just hand over to Faith now to take our questions, and then we will answer all the questions, as we go throughout the the workshop. Okay. Thank you all so much. So I'll hand over the baton to Faith. Faith, my very good friend and sister, and my co-Commonwealth scholar. At least we have eaten UK money. They brought us to UK to study and we ate their money really well. Hello, Faith. Nice to
Lucy,
meet you.
hello.
Thank you so much
Hello.
for joining.
Thank you, Lucy, for being an amazing sister and friend. Everything for you. I'm rooting for you in ScholarWaka, and I'm very much in for this, your journey.
Thank you
Wishing
so
you all
much.
the best.
Thank you
Thank
so
you. And that's why I've gone above and beyond to promise to offer like exclusive support to certain selected attendees of this program. And I am not flinching in that promise. I definitely will keep to my words. Um,
So
to
can
go,
we know here, can we know how you're picking those persons? So people who are here can also know
I
that you are looking for special people. So are you
yes,
picking from the comments, from the sessions? So how do you pick
um,
those who you are
I
giving special mentorship to?
I I want us to make it random. I did mention that I'll pick from active participants. Then ScholarWaka would nominate some persons.
Okay.
If yeah, ScholarWaka would nominate some persons because I may not be here till the very end of the
Okay.
lessons because of other engagements. So that's why ScholarWaka would have to nominate based on active participation. You
Okay,
know,
that's great.
from the comments, from the questions you ask, from people who have their videos on, so we can be able to evaluate their attention levels and
Yeah.
all of that. So
Okay, so
that's what
guys,
Scholar Waka.
Faith is also a mentor, a scholarship mentor and coach, and she has some slots for those who are very active in this call. So we are keeping our eyes down for those who will be selected to join her special mentorship session and class.
Okay.
Please,
So
can you
basically,
mute
yeah.
making noise in the background?
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
So basically I'll be picking, like I said, two people to support their statement of purpose, two people to support their CV, and so on and so forth. And then I
Okay.
think one person for and so on. Lucy, you're gonna restate, maybe read it. So
Okay.
I'll go straight in. If I can have my slide on, please. If I can have my slide on, please. Is it on?
Yeah, it's coming on.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's coming on. It's just slow. But yeah, it's
Okay.
on. Can
All
you see?
right. Yes,
Yeah, we
I can see. I can see. So my name is Faith Chiazor. I'm a Commonwealth scholar, like they've said a whole lot of times, from the University of Success. And I'm also the research director to the senator representing Delta North at the National Assembly. So my next slide, please. Next slide, please. Due to time constraints, I would hit on the main point because Lucy ate into my time, and I mean, I need to respect the time of the other speakers. So can I have the next slide on? Can I have the next slide on, please? Okay,
Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
on.
All right, thank you. I just seen it. So I want to talk about how you can beat the competition. I'm not interested in just how you can compete, but how you can beat the competition, because you are not the only one out there to compete. A whole lot of persons are competing, very good people, but how can you beat the competition? So, I said, in academic excellence, one thing I want you to pay attention. Anybody can have a 2-1. Any serious student can have a 2-1. But if you want to beat the competition, you have to look into what makes up your 2-1. you have to look into what makes up your 2-1, because several schools pay attention to how many Fs did they get before they arrived at 2-1. How many Ds are in the transcripts? How many Cs? And then how many As and how many Bs? Do you understand? So if you're getting a 2-1, make sure you're getting Bs, you're getting, even if it's a C, but try your best, especially if you're still a student. If you already have your results, do not be discouraged. But if you're still a student, please make sure that you go back and put in your best. Eliminate those Fs. Try not to have them. And if you're resitting, make sure that when you resit, you get a very good grade, like an A or a B. So that, because in some of the scholarships, they'll tell you to defend your previous F. Defend why you got an F. Defend why you failed a particular subject. And then you can be able to say, oh, I failed that subject because I fell ill and this and that and that. But when I resat for that particular course, I got an A, and this A reflects my true capacity, while the F is just a result of illness or something I could not, blah, blah. You get my point? So that's how to go about it. Please pay attention, because I can tell you, like, universities in the USA, because I've also done applications to the USA, universities in the USA pay attention to, like, when you bring your transcript of 30 courses, 50 courses, they pay attention to the courses that concern them in that your transcript. They pay attention. Maybe they don't want to see your maybe they don't want to see your introduction to computer because it's not related to what they are looking for. Maybe what they want to see is the course you took on social identity. And then they will check what courses did you take in relationship to social identity and what did you score. That's how they will evaluate whether you really have understanding of that particular issue, of that particular topic. So what I'm trying to say in essence, I do hope that you understand me, because I need people to get this straight. If you know where you are going in life, make sure you put your strength in those individual courses, because it also makes the difference between who beats the competition and who remains with the pack, competing all over and all over again. I do hope I was able to drive home that point. Leadership development, like Lucy mentioned earlier, it doesn't have to be something big, but if you can do it big, it's fine. One thing I will tell you why leadership development is important. I think the speaker for Chiefney will also tell you, because Chiefney has a whole essay question dedicated to leadership on its own. That's to tell you how important it is. I will be slow on this particular statement because I want you to internalize it. Many scholarships are training you to go and train others. The intention of many scholarships is to raise a leader, global leaders, state leaders, national leaders. So you have to show them that you have potentials for leadership. And if for you to show that you have potentials for leadership, it means you must have intentionally developed yourself, so that when you are writing your statement of purpose or your CV, you are able to show them, oh, I was the leader at the students' union, or I was the leader in my department, and oh, even a tutorial leader, a house fellowship leader, a church leader, even a leader in a team discussion. You know, those after school discussions we get, like after classes, 5 friends come together and begin to discuss, have conversations about the course. And maybe you are the figurehead there. You're the one pushing the conversation. You can say, I was a leader in a team of 5, something like that. It's still leadership. It depends on how well you are being mentored to know how to translate your actions, translate your activities into convincing statement of purpose. I hope that sinks in. Volunteering, my darling. If you underestimate volunteering, you would be doing that at your own risk. But volunteering, personally, there is this thing I want you to understand about volunteering. So now, I personally, I mean, everybody knows what volunteering is. Is there anybody that doesn't know what volunteering is? You can let us know in the chat so we can start teaching you like a baby. But I want to believe that everybody understands what volunteering is. But this is the part of volunteering I want you to understand. Because like I mentioned in the beginning, I am interested not in how you compete every year you are applying. I am rather interested in how you are able to beat the competition and emerge the winner. Because trust me, it's not silly people that are competing. Smart people are the ones competing with you in most cases. So now, volunteering, I personally segregated volunteering into 3 categories: the small organizations, the medium organizations and the big organizations. So I run a foundation, I run a nonprofit. If you volunteer with my nonprofit, you'll be volunteering with a small nonprofit, because I'm a small nonprofit. I'm still running at state level. I don't have so much international recognition, but I'm doing good. Okay, now if you work with organizations like I wish somebody can give me an example. If you work with organizations like Yayaga Africa, what other okay, let's say Yayaga Africa. If you know Yayaga Africa, that's the not too young to no, AU is a big name. Thank you for that contribution. Trust me, I'm paying attention to the chat session as much as I'm speaking. I know how to multitask. So let's talk about Yayaga Africa, the ones that did the not too young to run. They are and yeah, there's a whole lot in that category. I can refer to them as a medium-sized organization. If you apply to them, if you volunteer with them, you stand a good chance, a fair chance, you stand a fair chance. But if you volunteer with big organizations like Amnesty International, like UNICEF in your local place, not like you go abroad and volunteer with UNICEF. Like you can volunteer with what UNICEF is doing in your local organization, your local community. Maybe World Bank is doing a borehole project and they need people to volunteer for this and that and this, and you are there. Just anything, the big names. There's Leap Africa, names that have big recognition. Ford Foundation, a whole lot. There's a whole lot of things. Or you volunteer with organizations that partner with them on a particular project. You may not be volunteering with those organizations directly, but if you're volunteering with an organization partnering with them, let's say for example, Ushafa is a very local. Thank you for saying Red Cross. Red Cross is a very fantastic example, very accessible to everybody. Thank you so much. Now look at this. Ushafa Pottery Center is a very local place. Ushafa is a very local place in Abuja, the far end of Abuja, Buari. Now you see that Ushafa, they have an association of potters, people who just sit down and begin to mold pots and begin to mold plates and all of that with mud and stuff. Now, there is this internationally recognized foundation called what's the name is doing off and on in my brain now. Not like it's doing off and on. I mentioned it earlier. Come on, I'll just skip the name. A particular organization is interested in them and the organization partners with them and sponsors them. Now, listen, if you are able to volunteer with Ushafa Pottery Center, as local as they are, while they are partnering with that organization, when you are writing your statement of purpose, you will present it in a very good way that projects that very big organization that I partnered in. Let's say it is AU, for example, but it's not AU. I'm trying to remember the name now. Let's say you write and say, I partnered with Ushafa Pottery Center to do this and that while I was blah, 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 in conjunction with so, and I was, you are able to project yourself. Now, look at the essence of this explanation and this stratification is this. If you apply to many of these international bodies we are applying to for scholarships, they mostly recognize international organizations. Not like they don't recognize our local ones. They do. They understand it. But international organizations that are very prominent ring a bell. So once you say, I have worked with the World Bank, I have volunteered with the World Bank on so project, and they are convinced that this is real, it rings a bell in their mind. It rings a bell in their mind because they'll be like, if this person can do this, it means this person knows what they are doing. Do you get my point? But here is the trick. You cannot jump. Can you listen? I'm going to be slow on this because I want it to sink in. You cannot jump from volunteering with you cannot jump from volunteering with the small organization to the medium. You cannot jump from volunteering with the medium to the big. You have to start from the small. By the time you volunteer with the small organization in your local community, you use that volunteering experience to apply as a volunteer with a medium organization. You say, oh, I want to volunteer with you. I have had this experience of volunteering down below. And before you know it, you are able to apply for bigger organizations. And bigger organizations, even volunteering opportunities now are competitive in big organizations. Trust me. You begin to defend yourself. I did with Yayaga Africa. I did with Leap Africa. I'm interested in policy. I did this. I did that. I can volunteer. This is the skills I can bring to the table as a volunteer with you. That's how you get there. You can't jump the small to the big. You can't jump the small, medium, big. You have to start from somewhere, and you have to do it fast because you have your target. I hope that makes it clear. Like, I'm trying to tell you that in your volunteering journey, I will be slow on this particular point because I want it to sink in. In your volunteering journey, start small, but do not remain small. Obi cannot continue to be a boy every day. As you volunteer with small organizations, leave them for the people that are coming up. Go medium, go up. You can continue to support the small and the big and volunteer with them, but make sure you are moving because you have a goal. Do you understand me? That's the point. And that will make the difference between who is able to beat the competition. Do you get my point? I mean, that's not wholesome. That's not everything it is, but that's a very good one. So, community engagement is just like volunteering, but community engagement is more like you, what you are able to do for the community. Are you able to mobilize? What have you done? Oh, I've been able to. I mean, there's a whole lot. I need to touch on many more points, so I will not dwell so much on that. Professional experience is about like your job, the job you've done in the past, and there is something about professional experience. Some scholarships, for example, Commonwealth Scholarship wants to see that you've had professional experience up to 2,500 hours. I think you need to be very consistent with ScholarWaka so you can learn many of these things. There's a whole lot to teach you, and it cannot be taught under the 25 minutes I'm giving. But you need to understand how it's not just about getting the professional experience. It's about how to do it right. Okay, how to do it right. That you have one or two professional experience does not necessarily qualify you. And then that you have just one or two may qualify you. Depends on what you are doing and what you're doing right. You see, it's a two-way thing. Research experience, let me tell you, many of these international scholarships have very strong research undertone, especially if you're looking to go to the US. There's a whole lot is based on research, especially if you're looking to go to the US. But if you are looking to even when you're looking to the UK, they will tell you, Commonwealth, for example, will tell you to write a sample of scholarship, and I will tell you of research, and I will tell you if your plan is to use ChatGPT. Let me tell you something. See, these people, they've been evaluating like when your applications, they've been evaluating applications, marking applications, screening candidates for years and years and years before ChatGPT became everywhere. Do you get my point? So they can smell it from a distance. The moment the moment I open your work and I see the nuanced approaches of the vibrant community, throw that thing away. This particular candidate is not ready. They want to know you. They want to know you. It's not bad to use Chat GPT, but you do your own idea. Do your own idea. Then ask Chat, based on what I have brought forth, can you help me refine it and check for errors and tell me where I am not making sense or where you think I have a strong point? That's how to use Chat, ladies and gentlemen. Chat does not exist to take away your intelligence. A word is enough for the wise. They know, they can smell it from a distance. Okay, so don't depend on research to Chat to write your research works and all of that. Extracurricular activities. I'll tell you something about extracurricular activities. Do you know that, like, for example, in the US, I think maybe the speaker on that will tell you something. In the US, sometimes they give you admission and they don't give you funding. Lucy also mentioned that sometimes in the US is partial funding. They give you admission, they don't give you funding, or they give you partial funding. And you have to seek scholarship. You have to seek for additional scholarship to complement. Now, when you are seeking for additional scholarship, there's a whole lot. For example, some will be based on extracurricular activities. I will be slow on this particular point because I want you to pick it up. Some scholarships are looking to recruit some sponsors of scholarship are looking to recruit fellowship leaders, people who will come and lead fellowships in their union, in their church union over there. Some are looking for people who have idea of sports. I know people who it is sports sponsorship that covered the excess of their, outstanding tuitions for them to be able to go to the US. And let me tell you, when you're writing your SOP, sometimes they ask you, they want to know your extracurricular strengths. They want to know, outside all of this school book thing you've said, what else is there to you? They want to know. You can say, I'm a professional chess player. I'm a very good mobilizer. I'm a this, I'm a that. They want to know what extra thing. And sometimes when schools ask you in your statement of purpose, what can you contribute to the university? It's not only research. You can say on the side, I can groom your sports team. There's a whole lot of things to, bring in under that. But for time constraint, I think I have to move on. Yeah, relevant examination, sweetheart. I'll tell you something. I'll just pinpoint on GRE. GRE is super expensive. GRE is brain racking. GRE is just a whole lot. But there's something I'll tell you. Listen to me very well on this particular point. I'll be slow about it because I want you to pick this point. Remember, my focus here is how you can beat the competition, not how you can compete and compete and compete till you get tired and frustrated. Now, listen to me. Listen to me. If any school tells you that GRE is accepted, but it is not compulsory, it is optional, every student will begin to jubilate, like, "Ah, thank God it's optional." No, meaning if I submit, they mark it, they will write it there that if you submit, we will add it to your, we will consider it. But if you don't submit, no problem. Listen and listen good. Submit. Submit. Except that school says GRE will not be counted towards your grading for this scholarship screening. That is the only time. Do not worry, because even if you submit, they will fling it away. But I have seen many schools that will tell you GRE is optional. If you submit, we will add it to your stuff. If you do not submit, it's fine. But some will tell you if you submit, we will still not add it. We don't need it. You see a school that says it's optional, my darling, if you want to continue competing and competing, keep it optional. But if you want to compete and win, if you want to beat the competition, submit. It will make the difference between who gets the scholarship and who doesn't get. Of course, this is not wholesome, because a good GRE result cannot be all that there is to you. While you are failing in your SOP, you're failing in your CV, you're failing in everything about you. Just bring one good GRE, probably the one you went to hijack from one GRE Mago Center. They know. If you like, go and bring the one from GRE Mago Center. They know. Because let me tell you something. I know like two persons that didn't exactly, they have good GRE scores, but they've never been selected. They keep applying. Let me tell you what happened. Do you know the professor noted to them when they reached out that, professor noted to them that your GRE result is not reflecting your overall performance. Your transcripts is showing that you have 2-2. Your GRE is showing us as though you have 100 over 100. You're a perfect A student. Okay, we would have excused your transcript, maybe thinking that something went wrong when you were a student, but you got better. But when we look at your SOP, it looks silly. When we look at your CV, it looks empty. So this GRE, come on, something is wrong somewhere. I mean, be wholesome. But you see GRE being optional, death trap, darling, put it in good. It's gonna make the difference between. I mean, I love when things are optional so that I can follow back and cheat you. I love it. Honestly, that's your strength. If you recognize it, that's your strength. I'll move on for the sake of time. Can I have the next slide, please? Oh, yes. Before you go to the next slide, Scholar Waka, when I wrote somewhere, I said, think to beat the 50 out of the 1,000, the 10 out of the 50 rule, the 3 out of the 10 is my personal rule. So here is what I think. If 1,000 people are applying for a scholarship, you should think like the best 50. Position your mind like the best 50, so that if the best 50 is eventually selected, because scholarships shortlist, they don't just read 1,000 and choose 3 out of it. No, they don't read 1,000 and choose 3. No, they will downsize. So when they downsize, maybe from 1,000 to 50, you need to think more than the average 950 people, so that you can be selected in the 50. And then when you make a document and say, this one now can put me in the first 50. Now, this thing I have, all these things I'm presenting that I want to use before I click submit for this scholarship, can this thing beat me into the first 10? Can this thing beat a smart 40? Because now they are picking good 50 people. But can this beat 40 smart people to push me into the first 10? That's when you begin to tighten your statement of purpose. You begin to reorganize. You begin to look for your mentors and say, can you go through my work? Can you advise me? Okay, it's at this point you look for your mentor, not at the point of 50 when you are very generic. When you have done something, some people, the problem I have with them with mentorship is they want you to baby them from the beginning, put the food in their mouth, tell them how to put 1 plus 1. No, you do something and bring. I look at it and I support. Okay, that's how it works. So then when you have what you have, you look at it again and you ask yourself, if they pick 10 people and I cross the first 10, can I beat this thing and be part of the first 3? This thing I'm giving to these people, can it beat? You have to think like a smart, let me come this way. You have to think like a thief to be able to outsmart a thief. Do you get? You have to think like a thief. When you come into a room, you need to think, where will I find this thing? If a thief has kept this spoon, where will I find this spoon? You stop looking in the fridge, you stop looking on the floor, you start looking very critical places. That's how you begin to think. As the pyramid narrows, I deliberately put it in a pyramid. As the pyramid narrows, you begin to strengthen, you begin to cut off all the unnecessaries, you begin to, align yourself, and then you begin to think like the 1% of the 1%. I hope I've communicated. So we can go to the next slide. The next slide is yes. So can we go to the next slide, please? I haven't seen the next slide myself. Thank you. That's it. So yeah. So my personal Commonwealth story, I won't dwell so much on that because of the time constraint. But one thing I'll tell you, I was very ready in the sense that as I was graduating listen, after my graduation, I did not spend 1 year at home. I did not spend 1 year at home. I finished my NYSC this year. The end of that year, I was going for my master's. The same year I finished my NYC, I was going for my master's. I did not spend 1 extra year. I was very ready. Between the time of my graduation to my NYC, back to back, I was pursuing. Give me my transcripts. Give me my result, my statement of result. Give me my certificate. I did not wait for scholarship to tell me to bring my certificate before I start looking for it. I hope I'm communicating. You have to be ready. I wrote somewhere, I said, your winning a scholarship does not begin when the scholarship opens. It begins long before the scholarship opens. You have to be ready. I was ready, and I got my scholarship on my very first application. I did not apply here, apply there, apply, get rejected, got rejected because of preparedness. But I give all the glory to God. Okay, so at the end of the day, but let's be practical. Let's be practical. So now there's something I'm going to say to you. The things that helped me, factors that helped me in my own mind, what I think I did differently, things that helped me. So I would say to you, choose a course that you understand very, very well. Okay, choose a course you understand very well, not a course you are randomly passionate about. Oh, I love this thing. I just love this thing. So I just love bio wanting engineering. So let me choose it because I love it. But where your strength is in laboratory science, where your CV is pointing you to, where your experience is pointing you to, where your strength is pointing you to is laboratory science. But where your eye is choking, where your belly one go is biochemical engine. How are you going to defend it? You will be writing in this direction and your documentations are going this direction. See, let me tell you, when I applied to places like the US, I remember one school, they will even recommend to you. They'll say, oh, your everything fits more into so other course that we have. Can we refer you to that other course? Because you are seeing a different thing, they are seeing a different thing. So try to see with clarity. It's going to help you. That's why you need mentors. That's why you need Lucy. That's why you need ScholarWaka. I will recommend ScholarWaka any day, anytime. I will not just appear anywhere, but ScholarWaka is a go. I recommend. Something else I'm gonna say is yes, choose a course, and then your convincing statement of purpose. Your statement of purpose should be very convincing, very strong. I don't have time to rely on that, but just know that your statement of purpose should be convincing. They meet you through your statement of purpose. They understand you through your statement of purpose. Do not outsource that to ChatGPT. You will be cheating yourself. I know what I'm telling you. And now, see, one thing that helped me was my conviction of preparedness. In my statement of purpose, I was able to convince these people that I know what I'm saying, oh, and I'm very ready for this thing. Did it end there? No, I backed it up with evidence. I'll tell you something. When I applied to the US, schools like Nebraska, Lincoln, they asked me to upload evidences of the things I claimed I have done. It's not every scholarship that will leave you to just apply and post apply. In fact, that one is even, if they leave you to apply and post apply, it's even more risky. But somebody like me, I prefer when they tell me put evidence, because I know say I get evidence, woto. I will bring pictures. I will gather them. I will bring links, not just pictures, links to where I did this, links to where this one. You will go to the organization, you will see the link, you will see my work there, you will see different places that I've put my effort, that I've volunteered, and everything. You put them in a document, you gather, you upload. That helped me. I did it when I was applying to Commonwealth. I don't know. I don't know where I got that inspiration, but I tell you, I also did that when I was applying to the US. Like, for example, I can say that South Carolina asked for evidences, Nebraska, Lincoln asked for evidences. You don't have to, they keep it optional. And I told you before, I love it when you keep it optional so that I can sneak through the back and beat my competition. Okay, because I don't give chances when it's optional. When it's optional, I just smile. I just smile and pray for every other person to take it optional while I take it serious. So that's it. Have evidences. Anything you do, if you volunteer with ScholarWaka, let's say tomorrow ScholarWaka says, "Oh, who can volunteer with us to be reading papers, blah blah blah," and you volunteer, my darling, at the end, ask ScholarWaka, "Can you give me something like an acknowledgement?" If you go and do a community cleanup, maybe there is a group that does cleanup every Saturday, and you know you are interested in environmental or anything, snap pictures, gather them. Do not snap them and keep in your phone. Snap them and upload them in a what do they call it, repository. Put them, make sure they are online, so that when you send link and you send pictures and you back it up with the link, they can trace it to online. They cannot trace it to your phone. Put it, even if it's on Facebook, if they Google your name, some they do this scholarship, some of them do their due diligence. They Google Nkechi Ebano. They type Nkechi Ebano and they see, Nkechi did so. Nkechi is part of a sanitation to Nkechi. Now, AI has helped. If anybody Googles anything, they will see like a summary of who you are. I hope that when we Google your name, what we will see is not somebody dragging you on TikTok. I hope that's not what we will see. So you have to be intentional building your profile on the internet. Let me tell you, your social media. If you don't have a LinkedIn, have a LinkedIn now. Because many schools, many scholarships tells you, put your LinkedIn profile, put your LinkedIn. Lucy, please help me tell these people that LinkedIn is really important now. LinkedIn is your online CV. Many schools, many scholarships, many things I'm applying to, they are telling me, put your LinkedIn profile, and be intentional about what goes into your LinkedIn. Every day, invest in your LinkedIn. Twice in a week, invest in your LinkedIn. They check it. I go call them 2 times. So yeah, that's about that. I had evidence of my work. I had proof of being consistent. Now, when I say I had proof of being consistent, it's different from me saying I had evidence of my work. Now, this is where this comes in. I have proof of being consistent. Now, when I say proof of being consistent, I mean, when you look at my CV bar, you will see that 4 years ago, I was either a volunteer in a gender meeting. 10 years later, I was actually a sales rep in a gender shop. I'm giving example. 2 years later, you will see that maybe I was an intern in a gender. 1 year later, you will see that this same person was working in a gender. It is very consistent. When they see that, it's not like I was a gender here, and then the next year they see that I'm now into catering, and then the next year the next part of my CV is showing that I'm now into makeup, and then the next part of my CV is showing that I went into bitter leaf farming. Who are you, and where should we put our you? It means you have not deepened. You like it, but you have not deep. We want to see that you went deep. You did not just put, you went deep like this. See, this is the root. We want to see that you went deep. So you have not deepened. So how can you claim a deepened passion? You need to show that you are deepened. Your passion is intense, and by consistency in that trajectory. I hope I have made that point. So I'll take you to can you take me back to slide 2 really quickly? Can you take me back to slide 2 really quickly? Can you take me back to slide 2? Can somebody hear me? Can you take me back to slide 2 really quickly?
Yes, on slide 2. On slide 2.
Okay, thank you so much. So for academic excellence, I would say that I've been very intentional about my stuff. So I try to make sure I'm just trying to like connect my story to this to be practical. I graduated with a 2-1 in my undergraduate, which is not bad, but in my master's, I got a distinction. So I made sure that my individual courses were good, and I still appreciate that. Now, leadership development, I mean, from my 100 level, from my 200 level, I was organizing free tutorials. I was organizing free tutorials because I wanted to contest student union government by my 400 level, not knowing that that tutorials I was organizing for 100 level students would help me later. With volunteering, I did a whole lot. I did not just volunteer. I raised volunteers. I did not just volunteer with people. I volunteered with the small, I volunteered with the medium, I volunteered with the big. And when I was applying, one name that I used names like Amnesty International, because right from my 400 level, I had one when I was a 400 level student. I had gathered experience so much that I was able to compete for a grant with Amnesty International and won a £5,000 grant while I was a final year student in Nigeria. So when I put that agenda to scholarships, when they look at it, they say, this one will win grant as a student. The grant will help her to do research. Do you understand how it is connecting? I'm just trying to show you the idea, right? I moved from, I was able to show leadership because I did not just volunteer. I raised volunteers, community engagement, professional experience. Listen, let me tell you something about professional experience. Right from when I was in 100 level, there is no small thing I would not do. There is nothing I wouldn't do. Anything. And I was keeping track record of everything I had done. Do you know why? Because I didn't want a situation where when I need a job, somebody will say, what are your work experiences? And I wouldn't have. I was accumulating work experiences because of jobs, but it ended up helping me with my scholarship. Accumulate. When you are on holidays, look for a small chemist where you can intern. Look for a small whatever clinic where you can be a carer. One thing or the other, just do something, but do it, my darling, in the line of your passion. Listen, I'll be slow. When you are volunteering, be very intentional. If you're looking towards climate change, please go to all these environmental. Don't be going to hospitals to volunteer. Do you understand me? So that's how it applies. Thank you. So yeah, with research, come on. I'll tell you something. Your undergraduate research, if you can't publish it, why am I saying if you can, my friend? Go and publish it. There are good, not Indian and many of those fishing journals, those predatory journals. No, there are good agile journals. You can ask ScholarWaka later. There are good agile journals. There are good, well-indexed journals that you can afford. Publish a research. Your undergraduate research, publish it. No matter what your strength can do, publish it so that you can make reference to it. See, the other speakers are coming. They will tell you the importance of research in these applications, and it cannot be overemphasized. Let's go to the fourth slide. So I'll run over. I've talked about relevant examinations. I've talked about extracurricular. So I'll just run over because
Yes, please, Faith, you just run over quickly because we've eaten into bright
definitely.
time. Yeah, so sorry,
Yeah.
Bright. We're just running up now. Thank you. We'll give you another
Yeah.
to quickly round up.
Of course, thank you. Of course, thank you, Lucy. So, yeah, the key lessons I learned through my scholarship journey is, you know, if you get, like, for example, you got scholarship, please do not relax and say, I've gotten this scholarship, except that's where you want your life to end. Build a strong profile from that scholarship so that you can go forward. For example, when I got my master's, I applied to the US based on the capacity I built while I was a master's student in the UK. I contested elections with a Brit and an Indian, and I want to become the counselor representing my faculty. And then my university gave me an award, blah, blah, all of that. I use them to strengthen my profile. So do not relax so that you can get grants. You can get the job of your dreams. You can get maybe PhD opportunities. Do not relax, okay? The journey continues. Next slide, please. That's what I learned, to continue. Pursue excellence. Don't relax. All right. So, yes, practical advice. I'll be very fast about this. Do not chase every scholarship. Lucy has already mentioned that. Yeah, your statement of purpose. Lucy already mentioned that. Generic essays, I've already talked about. ChatGPT cannot help your life in this context. evidence of impact. You may be saying the truth, but you don't have evidence. Talk less of when you are lying, you don't have evidence. Who will help you? Waiting till final year. I've told you applications are won before applications are open. Poor referees. Listen, one thing that helped me, I had my referees very, very ready. In fact, one of my referees recommended me to Lucy. Like, one of my referees referred me to Lucy. I said, hey, I know somebody called Lucy. That was how I got to know Lucy. I had worked for people in this life so much that the day I came out and say I want to apply for scholarship, I had too many referees. Now me they choose them. So make sure you build good relationships with your professors so that when you go for referees, they will not chase you away. You bad student, you terrible student. Be intentional about that relationship. Don't just learn and go. Be intentional. So that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the session. My next
Thank
slide says thank you. Please show them
Oh
my
my
next slide.
God, thank you. Thank you so much, Faye. This is really interactive. We have eaten so much into Brighton's time. And honestly, almost see the clap is not ending. It is really, really, really good. Thank you so much, Faith, for this time. And there are lots of questions here for you. Do we have Brighton already in the call? I guess it's already here because it's already his time. And
Yes.
I am not sure if we'll be able to. Faith, are you staying here for a couple of minutes? Probably we
Yeah,
could
I'm
take.
fine. I'm fine to wrap up questions.
Okay. Okay. Let me just see if there's any crucial one that I will just ask you now. If not, I'll pick them up even if you are away late.
Okay.
Statement of purpose. So someone said, okay, yeah, someone said, how about if I want to get a scholarship on a skill I learned, like fashion design?
Mm.
Mm,
Not bad, but how have you deepened in it?
mm,
Is it just that you have, because when you are writing your CV now, is it just one place will see fashion designing and then the whole rest is about a whole lot of other things? So they won't understand why we should choose you over a person who their point one, they did fashion designing in school. Point two, they intern in a fashion design store. Point three, this fashion design, they are all about fashion design. Like, they have that very strong foundation. So you need to be able to convince them on why you. That's what the
mm,
scholarship team is asking. Why you? So how deep in have you gone? We understand that it's your passion. So are you ready to focus on that passion, build on it so much that an admission committee will be convinced enough to support you as the right candidate?
mm.
That's the point. Ask yourself that question and you have your answer.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. I think I'll pick up every other question later during our question and answer session. Thank you so much, Faith. I really enjoyed the session. You gave us basketballs and even some touch of Igbo. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're going to
Thank
connect later, okay? And for those who we're going to shortlist or select for you, we're going to also let you know as well once we get the number of persons. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate.
thank you.
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. Very, very
Thank
powerful,
you.
powerful sessions, right? You guys
Thank
agree this
you.
is very powerful, right? Just drop your whatever, your emoji in the comment. Let me know how powerful this was for you. Trust me, I really enjoyed this session and I'm happy that you guys also learned as well from this. Okay, over to you, Brighton. I'm so sorry we had to eat into your time by over 30 minutes. I can't imagine that it was just time went this far. So hello, Brighton. I think it's the first time I'm going to see you on a video. All my previous speakers, I had seen them. I knew them personally. So thank you so much for giving us time today.
Let's do that. I could not have. So
Um,
what are we going to do
Hi,
here? You
Brighton.
just do
Thank
what
you
you do.
so much
Hi.
for your
Hi, how are
time.
you?
Yeah, I'm super sorry for doing African Man time here for you.
It's all right.
It got a little bit late and then we're having like
Yep.
some sleep. But yeah, over to you and thank you so much. We can't wait to hear from you how we can
I'll push it up for you.
champion
Shit.
scholarship this year.
Damn.
So much and
It's,
over to you.
it's all right. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my journey and my story. Um, if you could please, can you share the slides because I cannot share them where I am right now.
Peace, do you have the slides handy or do
Okay,
you want me to
just give
grab
me a
them?
minute. Yes, I do have the slide. Just a
Oh,
minute,
okay.
please.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Thank
It's
you.
it's all right. Maybe since she's looking for the slides, I can maybe introduce myself. So my name is Brighton Gwamombe. I am a Zimbabwean. Studying. Yeah, you can go to the next slide so that I can properly introduce myself. Yeah, so my name is Brighton Gwamombe from Zimbabwe. I am currently a Chevening scholar studying a master's in health data science and statistics at the University of Plymouth. In my undergrad, I did information and technology, but way back in 2016. And my focus, like my career plan, is in healthcare systems and AI. Um, there's someone in the chat saying they can't see the slides.
I can see the slide. Can others see the slide? Can you confirm this in the comment if others can see the slide?
Yeah. I think everyone can. I think everyone can. So as I was saying, my career plan is in healthcare systems and AI. Maybe I'll walk you through the my application journey, which is the next slide, please. So I heard about the Chevening scholarship from a friend of mine who was actually a Chevener. So he introduced me to the platform, and I started doing the research in July last year. That's when I started going to the Chevening website. I would say when you're looking to apply to any scholarship, the first pot of information that you need is actually the website of that particular scholarship that you want to apply to. So in my case, it was the Chevening website. So I would spend hours and hours just reading through each and every information about how to apply, the common mistakes that other scholars have made over the years, and what they are really looking for in an application so that I can better strengthen my application before I submit it. So that process took me over about two months. That is July and August. July. And then I started drafting the essays, and then I applied in November. And then my interview was in March. Fortunately, all praises to the Lord, I was selected for the interview. And then I did the interview, and as I was selected, and by September 2025, I was here in the UK studying my master's, and I'm still on my journey to finish my master's. I would say that was like the application process. Can you please go to the next slide? So for Chevening, when you're applying to the Chevening scholarship, what they're really looking for is someone who is a leader. This doesn't mean you have to be a CEO of a company or a managing director, but they are looking for someone who can identify a problem and can come up with a solution to that problem in whatever position that they are in. You could be an intern at an organization and you see a problem that your organization is facing, and you come up with a solution. You are a leader if you think like that. So there are four things that the Chevening scholarship is looking for, or four essays, I would say, that they would want you to write as part of the application. So there's the leadership and influence essay, there's the networking and relationships essay, there's the career plan, and then the study in the UK. So the leadership and influence, this is where you showcase how you have led over the years. This could be from your undergrad. This could be from the first job that you had when you when you finished your undergrad. Some of the examples that I used were from the first volunteer position that I had after graduating, where I was part of a team that was going around the country teaching high school students how to use an online learning platform. And I realized that some of the students, especially from the rural areas in Zimbabwe, this was like their first time using a mobile device, let alone like an application on a phone. So as someone who had done information and technology, I sort of created a video whereby I was explaining in like our native language, which is Shona, how they can use this platform. Through this experience, most students were able to get out of their comfort zone and be able to want to try to use this platform, because most of them were not like really interested in using the platform because it was their first time. So through that, most students around my area, the numbers went up and students were really interested. And at the end of that particular year, pass rates in those schools that I visited actually raised with some certain percentages. This is an example that I used, that I was able to do that, and I was able to influence my other volunteers as well to say, you know what, guys, this is something that you can also try in your areas and help improve the acceptance and the usage of the platform. And the ultimate goal wasn't just to improve the numbers, but the ultimate goal was to make sure that we impact these rural students so that they can be better equipped in the world that they are going into, which is the digital world that we now live in. So when you talk about leadership, you talk about you yourself. What have you done? So when you are writing in your essay, it's never we. You never write like we managed to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, but you switch to I, whereby you say I managed to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then these were the results. The networking and relationships essay, this is where the Chevening Scholarship wants to see if you are able to talk to people and create meaningful relationships. Because when you come to the UK, you are going to meet people from all around the world. So are you able to talk to them, create meaningful relationships, and maybe collaborate on a project? These are some of the things that they're looking for. So the networking that you talk about here could be you met someone online, maybe on LinkedIn, and then you talked, and then over the LinkedIn, and then maybe they invited you to a certain organization to volunteer, or they invited you to collaborate on a project, and then you achieved the results. So when you talk about networking, you talk about two things. You talk about how did that particular network helped you as an individual, and how did that particular network help the person that you collaborated with. So it's not one-sided. It's not what you gained from the network, but it's also what the other person in that relationship gained by knowing you, or by having to have a network with you. And then the career plan, this is where you talk about what you want to do when you are done with your master's degree here in the UK. So the scholarship, the Chevening Scholarship requires you to go back to your country after your studies, and then impact your country. So when you talk about the career plan, this is where you talk about what you want to do after your studies. For example, I'm studying health data science and statistics. My aim is to go back to Zimbabwe and try and implement projects that are related to digital health. How can we best make use of the health data that is been lying around that we've been collecting, and some of the hospitals in Zimbabwe do not have these digital platforms. So I plan on to help develop some of the digital platforms that can enable hospitals to capture data and make these use this data to make AI models or machine learning algorithms that can better improve healthcare delivery to the people in Zimbabwe. So this is just an example of I used in my career plan. So the career plan is to be broken down into three things. That is your short-term plan, your medium-term plan, and your long-term plan. In your short-term plan, you talk about this is the most realistic one. Like, what exactly do you intend to come and do? This should be as realistic as maybe as soon as I get back home, I want to work at the Ministry of Health and maybe under the health informatics department, and I want to work with this person, this particular person. So when you state it like that in your essay, it shows that you have done your research, it shows that you know what you're talking about, and it shows that it's realistic. It's not something that you're just thinking out there. And then the medium-term plan is should flow from your short-term plan to say, I've done this now. I've equipped myself with these skills and qualities which can enable me to do this. That's your medium-term plan. Then your long-term plan, this could be something out of this world. This should be big. This could be, maybe I want to be the Minister of Health sometime, and I want to implement one these policies in place so that we can strengthen our healthcare delivery in Zimbabwe and improve healthcare for the general population in Zimbabwe. So that's like your biggest ambition, the one thing that would be on the top of your head, you know. So that's the career plan. And then the study in the UK. The study in the UK, this is where you talk about the particular courses and universities that you have chosen here in the UK to study at, or the particular course. So when you talk about the course that you want to do, it should flow and it should interconnect with your career plan. You cannot talk about a different course in your UK study essay, which is totally different from what you intend to do. So, and then the courses that you choose in your the courses that you choose in your the courses that you choose when you are writing your study in the UK should all relate. So, for example, in my case, I chose a master's in health data science at the University of Plymouth. I chose health informatics at University of West London, and then I chose digital health at Bournemouth University. So there are different names, but these courses all talk about the same thing, which is how can we best use data to improve healthcare, and how can we develop AI and machine learning algorithms to better improve healthcare delivery. So this is where you shine. This is where you talk about, this is where you showcase your research skills, because you go to these particular courses on their websites and you read about them. Like every line that's on your course, you should understand what you're going to be studying. Every course, every lecturers that will be teaching you, extracurricular activities that are found at the university, the city that you're actually going to, what does it offer? Is it a vibrant city? Is it a city filled with so many events that you'd want to attend? Is it a city with maybe startups that you want to go to and learn from? Is it a city that allows you to volunteer? Is it a city that will make you feel comfortable to live in? The other thing that you should also talk about in your study in the UK is the diversity of the UK, and you should also balance yourself, balance your life, because what these people are looking for is an individual who is able to juggle both life and studies as well, because you're not just going to be studying 24/7. You have life that you have to live. So you can talk about some of the events that happen in the city that you're going to, that you are interested to be part of. I talked about going to the Wimbledon tennis tournament, which is happening like next month. I'm definitely going there. So this shows them that you have a work-life balance and you are a real person, because only a robot can only do schoolwork 24/7, but a human being has to live life. There's different activities that happen around the cities that you be going to. You should talk about them. So when you are researching about your course and study, you should research about the school, you should research about the lecturers, you should research about the particular courses that are in your course, you should research about the structure of your program. Some of the programs here is quite different from Africa, because some of them do have dissertations, some of them do not have dissertations. You actually do an internship, and that internship will stand as the dissertation for you. So these are some of the things that you should know and mention in your essays, so that you stand out. Can you please go to the next slide? I think most of the things that are in this slide I've talked about, but I'll just maybe re-emphasize them. And if you have worked with NGOs and communities in your maybe after your undergrad, or maybe when you were at school, these are very good examples that you can talk about. So these examples stand out because it shows that you are a wholesome person, a person who cares about his own country, a person who cares about his own community, where he's coming from, his ground roots. These are the things that you should mention in your leadership essay. Can you go to the next slide, please? I think I've emphasized what should be in the career plan and the study in the UK essay. Next slide, please. Can you move to the next? So when you're mentioning your examples in your essays, whether you're mentioning your leadership example or your networking example, there is a framework that you should use, which is called the STAR approach, which is the situation, task, action, and result. So this will give your example a structure. So for example, when you talk about a situation, so you would say the situation is what's happening around your field or your area or your environment, the environment that you are in, and the task is the particular task that you or your team is supposed to do or is supposed to achieve. Then the action is what you particularly did. So this is where you talk about so in this case, I would say I managed to develop a video which enabled students to relate more to the platform than using the English version video of the platform. And then the result, this is where I said, because of the initiatives that I put in place, at the end of the year, I received an email from the headmaster of the school saying that the pass rates of the grade 7s that I helped with this online learning platform, their pass rates increased by maybe 2% or 3%. And it's so it's so advisable for you to use numbers when you are explaining the results that you achieved. What exactly achieved? Did the profit of the company you were working for achieved with maybe a certain number of percentages, or did maybe the platform you developed reduced some hours that were being used doing some things? Maybe it reduced the hours from the task from 5 hours to 2 hours. This shows that there is you have your results have tangible things that you can talk about. There's someone called I think Linda. Can you please mute your so the one of the other things is when you're applying for the Chevening scholarship, it's different from when we applied. They changed quite a lot of things. They changed the number of hours that an eligible person applying is supposed to have. I think it's now about 2,800 hours after your graduation. And also they are now like top priorities that they are now looking at. So when you go to the Chevening website, I think somewhere there is written that top priorities that they are now looking at. So you yourself, you should try and find ways to fit your story or to fit your application in those priority areas, because that's what they are looking for. So when you are applying to these scholarships, one of the main things that other students do is they just start applying without really understanding what's required of them. So when you apply to this scholarship and you give them what they really want from you, you stand a better chance than someone who's just applying without really immersing themselves in the requirements of the scholarship. Can we go to the next slide, which is the common mistakes that most students do, or most scholars do when applying to the scholarship? So, as I said, most of these scholarships, including the Chevening scholarship, you should write some sort of an essay or essays to back up your story. So in these essays, you should not be vague or generic, but it should be your own story that nobody else hears. Like, for example, in my case, I had suffered a medical problem that I went to the biggest hospital in Zimbabwe and did not receive a proper diagnosis to my condition. And I was later on transferred to Cape Town, South Africa, to a hospital in South Africa in Cape Town. And then the doctors in South Africa managed to diagnose my condition in just 12 days, but I had stayed in a Zimbabwean hospital for more than 8 months without a proper diagnosis. And when I arrived there, I saw that in the South African hospital, they use electronic health record system, and they have better healthcare systems compared to Zimbabwe. Because when I arrived in South Africa, I had handwritten discharge cards. And when doctors asked me for my medical history, all I could produce were a bunch of papers written by doctors, and South African doctors could not put together my medical history to better help me with the condition. Witnessing all this, I realized there is a need for Zimbabwean hospitals to have better systems, better healthcare systems that can improve coordinated healthcare. Because what these doctors should have done was just send my medical history maybe through hospital portals or something like that, and then those guys would just read my medical history, and it would be easier for them that way. So that is that is my own story. No one hears that kind of a story, and it's baked with truth. I can write that without being vague or being generic. I can be as specific as I want because I went through that. So most of you guys have stories that are really unique that you can talk about. Maybe you come from a small village and you are the first graduate in your family, and you have maybe helped other students by tutoring them for free and enabling them to realize that there is a better life out there. Or maybe you live in a place that is filled with drug abuse, and you have been a person who has been advocating for people not to do drugs, and now you want to go into policy and maybe be the guys who sit on the decision tables and say, no, this is how we should treat our youth so that they don't get into drug abuse. These are unique stories that these people of these scholarships are looking for. So what you just need to do is tailor make them, is make sure that you tailor make them to you, to what you studied and to what you want to study. So the degree that you want to study should sit in between you and you trying to address the problem that you see. So for me, it was, I already have a degree in IT, but I want a degree in health data science. I want to be able to understand how healthcare systems are made, how data flows in the healthcare system, so that I can better help my country make these digital platforms. So you see, there's a flow that I used, that a person reading my essays can actually see where I'm coming from and where I'm going, and can actually understand my story, how it connects from me and the end goal. And I think the other presenter talked about the use of AI. AI is a great tool, but do not let it write your essay. Rather use it to research, use it to structure your sentences, use it to shorten maybe your sentences, but do not let it write your essays. I mean, we are all students. We have been students. We know how to use these tools. We know how to paraphrase. We know how to make things our own. The next mistake that students do is a career plan. So a career plan should be realistic. It should show that you know what you're saying, you know where you're coming from, and then you know where you are going. That also goes to the courses that you choose. The reader should read, should be able to see that these are properly researched courses, these are properly researched universities. And you know what? Some of the things that everyone does is, everyone will talk about, the university I'm going to is maybe the #1 ranked university in the world. This is one statement that you would find in maybe 60% of the essays that everyone would write. I would say, be different. Be different. Do not say whatever everyone else is going to say. That's how you stand out. Instead of saying, the university I'm going to is #5 top ranked university in the UK, you could say, the university that I'm going to in the UK has internship opportunities that will allow me to gain or that will allow me to see the interplay between academia, researchers, people in the industry, policymakers, entrepreneurs, students. For me, being in that situation, I'll gain 1, 2, 3, 4. Because when you're writing these essays, remember, you have a word limit. So each and every word that you put in those essays should hold value. And whenever you see that, whenever you write a statement and you see that everyone else is going to write about this, I would say think outside the box and write something that not everyone else is going to write about. That makes your essays interesting to read, because these people are going to be reading hundreds of thousands of essays. And if they read the same things over and over and over again, their interest is going to run out. But when they read something that they haven't read in the last 100 essays, they are going to say, this is a unique essay. Then they pay much attention to that essay, and you stand a better chance of getting the scholarship. Next slide. So in order for you to better prepare yourself, these are some of the practical advices that I would say you should do earlier on. That is, you should start early to research about the scholarship. Maybe now, since the application portals for Chevening open in August, so you can maybe start to research now. Researching is you understanding your story. That's the first thing that you should do. What is it exactly that you want to do? The second thing would be, which universities would I want to go to, right? After that, then what's in the city, or in the cities that I want to go to, what's there, right? And then you start to draft your essays. Draft your essays as early as possible. You review them, you refine them, then you connect with alumni. Chevening alumni or any other scholarship alumni are always happy to help other people get what they also achieved, because I was also helped by other Chevening alumni. I would be so happy to review other people's essays and give input into them. So you should reach out to as many as you can. Just go on LinkedIn. On that search bar, you can just type Chevening. I think you'll find thousands of Chevening scholars there. Then you just inbox them. But you don't have to inbox the Chevening student without you doing something before. It's rather for you to inbox someone and say, you know what, I'm applying for Chevening student, and these are the essays that I've written so far. Can you please review them for me? So that person will just read the essays and give you feedback. It's easier that way. The other thing that you should also do is, when you get you are invited for an interview, of course you have to prepare for the interview. That means you have to do mock interviews. Mock interviews, these you can do with other fellow Chevening students who would have been chosen in your own country. There's a group called Chevening. I think it is like people from all over the world who have applied, and I think the link can be found on Facebook. If you just type Facebook Chevening alumni, you'll find it. In there, you'll find people from all over the world that you can do mock interviews with on a daily basis. And you can also do mock interviews with Chevening alumni as well. The last thing would be authentic, be yourself. Make sure everything that you're writing is about you and it's the truth and it's not AI. Can you please go to the next slide? Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is just like some of the things that you should look at, but these are things that you can read on the website. So this is the eligibility checklist. You should just check if you really qualify for the scholarship. But don't be discouraged by the okay, so the eligibility checklist is also on the Chevening website. You just read it through and see if you qualify, and that is the application timeline. But as well, please go onto the Chevening website and check for yourself these things. I think that is all from me. I think the next slide was just questions and answers. If there is anyone with a question, I'll be happy to answer some questions.
Thank you so much, Brighton, for this insightful session. I think Chevening Scholarship is I'll say one of the tough scholarship people to apply for. During my time, I think I did apply twice and I didn't get the scholarship. So I can
That's
tell
all
you
right.
how to do this. Somewhere I can see you here. So sorry that we have eaten into your time. We have been, eating into each other's time because we began a little bit. So please pardon us for doing African man time thing here. So I will just pick one or two questions for Brighton for those that have asked some critical questions here. So this
All
is
right.
from the unit said, if you were starting from scratch today with limited connections, how would you strategically build a network that could support your applications and career goals within a year?
The first thing that I'll do, starting from scratch, is to know what I want to do. So when you know what you want to do, you know the people that you're supposed to connect with.
True.
This include your lecturers, this include your peers at school, this include organizations that are around you that are in the same field that you are in. So these are the people these are the organizations that you can actually walk into and tell them that, you know what, I am a newbie in this industry and I would want to volunteer, but maybe you cannot pay me. I don't want you to pay me, but I would just want to volunteer with you guys and learn as much as I can from you, because you have the time. If you have the time, I would say volunteering is one of the good things that you can do. And you can as well be as initiative and start programs. Maybe at your school, you could say maybe you are into climate change. You could start the climate change club at your school. You could bring in people who have studied climate change or people who are speaking at global stages to come and speak at your school. You will not necessarily be speaking to the people, but you are the organizer. That's a leadership skill, and the ability for you to talk to people and welcome them to speak at your club. That's networking. That's the way of creating a relationship between you and other people who are around you as well.
Yeah, very, 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 very practical example. Like also what Faith said earlier, you have to start small, no matter how
Yeah,
little, and you have to start now. There is no perfect time to get started. In fact, from your street where you live, there are children who do not know how to solve 1 + 1 = 2. You can
yes,
begin from there, from your streets, from your church, even your church groups as well. You can take
exactly.
initiative to want to lead, to even create probably maybe a girl child or a group thing in your church. There's always a thing you could do, but start from somewhere. There is no
Yeah.
perfect time to get started. So another last question I'll probably ask you is, so someone said, Brighton, did you apply to schools first before applying for the scholarship?
So
We lost Brighton.
Yes, we lost
Oh,
him.
okay. Okay. So I will just pick that question quickly before I hand over to Samuel. So if you want to apply for the Chevening scholarship, you do not need to apply for admissions first. It's not a criteria for you to apply for admission first before applying for the scholarship. This is like from the previous applications that we have had. But the thing is, you need to check what the new update is because scholarship requirement changes every year. You can't say, I know what happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You're not a master of that, and you wouldn't want to check what it is now. So do check to see what will be the latest update. But as far as we are aware from previous year, it is not a criteria for you to apply for admission first before applying for the scholarship. However, if you're choosing those schools, it's good for you to also apply for admissions while you're applying for the scholarship or after you have applied for the scholarship. So just in case they give you an offer, you need an admission for you to be able to get the scholarship, right? So that's just how it works for Chevening scholarship. So keep dropping your questions in the comment. We're going to get into all of them once we hear from Samuel. So just do well to stick around, drop your questions, and I hope you are enjoying this time and I hope you're learning a lot. So just drop your emoji in the comment. Let's know what you're learning. Let's know that it is engaging. Just let us know that you guys are not sleeping. Drop your comments in the comment. Let us know that you are awake and you are really, really finding this session very useful. Hi, Samuel. Thank you so much. And sincere apologies for eating into your time. Apologies for doing Africa Man time here. It's not what we usually do, but probably next time we're going to, add some time sleep into our schedule. Yeah, I'm so happy to have you here from the USA. I hope we didn't wake you up too early because of our workshop today. So yeah, over to you, Samuel. And thank you once again for coming here, the daddy to my baby.
Right.
So much.
Sure.
So
Thank you very
Samuel
much.
is like my in-law because he's the husband to my very best friend here in the UK. So nice to have you here
Yeah,
again. Thank you so much.
exactly. Yeah, so I mean it's good that we get to interact on some of these platforms and you know, I'm very excited about how you're doing, provide like helping people find like opportunities out here. And I think every time I have some of these discussions with my friends, one of the things I say is that information is really the bottleneck to when it comes to like opportunities. And
Opportunity,
so um
exactly.
yeah, sharing information is one of the ways to ensure that like people also have like the same opportunity to pursue what's their true interest and what's very relevant to their career goals. So God bless you for like making this your life's goal.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The goal is we want more people to know that opportunities exist and they should go grab it because they are all out there
Exactly,
and they
exactly.
need you to get it. So why not explore and get as much as you can? Thank you so much.
Yes. So I may have to switch my Zoom if I want to share my screen. But then, yeah. So I was trying to figure out exactly what to do if it's my thing. Okay. So 1 second. Is sharing enabled for me?
We can't see anything yet.
1 second. Oops.
Okay, coming up. Yes, coming up. Yeah. I think we can see the other part of your screen, the one that has your speaking notes on the other side. Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah, we can see it now. But we can't hear you if you're speaking. We can't hear you, Samuel, if you're speaking. We can see your screen now, but we can't hear you.
Is it any better? Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, perfect now.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So the request I got was to walk through like how I earned my scholarship. So obviously you may realize very quickly that this is an AI generated slide. So don't come for me too much if like I
Yeah.
don't think there are any errors, but like just try to put something together and then have a very interactive session. So a little bit on my background. I'm a PhD student at Drexel University. I'm pursuing my PhD in chemical engineering, and I'm literally working in the intersection of computational materials, process systems, and control, like process development kind of thing, and then lab automations, right? That's where my research sits. So I do a lot of computational work. That's like working with materials, doing DFT calculations, doing vast calculations on high performance computing clusters. There's just a little bit of control as well. Like every process development requires control, and then the large, like the end goal is lab automations in that regard. And so that's what I've been spending the last like 2 years doing as of now. So I getting into the US actually took me 2 years. I think my story is very similar to many people who have tried to get into the US. The general advice is to reach out to the professor you want to work with and send a cold email. Those kind of things. But then I quickly realized that procedure doesn't entirely work well because these PIs get tons and tons of messages like every day. I've seen that with my PI as well. Like we sit in meetings and like as we are talking, like emails come in, like and another thing is that you don't always know which professor has funding or which professor is trying to recruit. So sending out emails all over. I mean, it works for some people, but I'm sharing my story here. I'm just letting you know that for me, it don't work. A few times when PIs responded to me, they responded to tell me that they were not recruiting. And most of the time, like I didn't get responses at all. I mean, in my school, there was right. In my school, there was this PI I really wanted to work with. I had sent her tons of emails. She wasn't responding. But eventually I got to realize that she was actually leaving the school and going to like Cornell, So like there are a lot of dynamics when it comes to trying to secure funding through cold emailing. But like I'm saying, that's just my story. It has worked for some people. But the general case is that cold emailing doesn't always work. And so then how did they work? How did I end up like getting into my program? My slide deck. So yeah, I think I've already talked about this without changing the slide. No. So then the move that changed everything for me was instead of reaching out to PIs, I started reaching out to students in the groups of the PIs whose labs I wanted to join. I don't know if that makes sense. So if I want to join Professor A's group, or I'm looking to join Professor A's group for my PhD, instead of like reaching out to Professor A, I reach out to Professor A's student, right? So I went onto their website. Okay, so I go onto their website, look for look at the student profiles. Sometimes if I see it, like wow, it was pretty much like looking for somebody who looks like he would answer an email, like yeah. That's how I actually that's what I decided to do instead. So and even for them, some people still did not answer, but like the people who are willing to are really willing to help, like answered, and that was the game changer for me. So I ended up like I sent an email to a student in like the lady is Professor Tang. She actually turns out to be the grad advisor as well. So I sent an email to him, and like it's like since it's student to student, they can't understand what's going on. And I didn't reach out to an African, unfortunately. The guy I reached out to was yeah, he's Asian actually. Yeah, and we set up a meeting. We talked about what I was looking to do in the lab, what my strengths were, and because he worked directly with the PI, he kind of got me a meeting with the PI, like told me to send an email to the PI after our meeting, and I sent the email then, and then I got a response, and we set up like a meeting. So the whole like going through the student kind of thing was what like changed the story for me, from going from like not receiving any responses to getting a response that should get a real conversation on what I could potentially do in the lab to getting admission with a scholarship. Yeah, so I always say that my story is pretty much unconventional. I didn't just go through like, oh, I've seen a PhD program I'm interested in, I want to apply. I apply and hope for admission. I did that the first time, it didn't work. And the second time when I went through this route, after speaking with the PI, she was the thing is she was not actually recruiting in that season, but then she connected me with a PI that was recruiting in that season. We had a meeting, and we realized that our interests kind of align. So he just told me to go ahead and apply. And then, yeah, that's how I ended up with my scholarship. So it's actually a pretty short presentation that I have for you, because I have close to zero knowledge about Chevening or like, all these MasterCard applications, because I never did any. I was mostly focused on, like PhD programs. And so, I would say that for those of us on the call that are looking to, attend their school in the United States, I would say that, like, cold emails, they barely work. They barely work because you should know that, like, there are millions of students seeking the same, like, similar opportunities, and sending, like, a lot of these PIs don't really make time to go through all their emails unless it's a recommendation that has been made to them. That's from the experience that I've gained from being a PhD student in the United States. And these recommendations come in diverse ways. It could be a student recommending another student to the PI. It could be like a PI recommending a student to another PI, like those kind of conversations. Because a lot of these PIs talk about how if they advertise a position, they have hundreds and hundreds of people like reaching out to say that, oh, they are interested in the position, sending CVs here and there. And if you know the life of a PI, you realize that they barely have time to sift through several CVs to find one student. So it's usually easier for them to have somebody say that, oh, I think I know this student, this is what they are like, and then they'll probably take a look at the CV and be like, okay, I think I want to have the student in my lab, and then they can set up a meeting. That's for schools that go sorry, that's for schools that do where the PIs get to recruit directly. For a lot of the schools in the United States, you just have to apply, and if your profile matches up with any PI in the university, then you get admitted. But in other schools like mine, the PIs also have the power to admit directly, and so that's the option I took. And then, like I said, finding someone in the lab, that you can talk to also helps. And talking to somebody in the lab doesn't only serve as a bridge towards admission. It actually gives you an idea of what working in the lab will be like, because your PhD journey really depends on the kind of advisor you have. People start PhDs and they end up dropping out because they have terrible advisors who don't give them room to do anything. So sometimes talking to somebody who already like works for that PI changes everything. If you get the perspective and you think that the work ethic in the lab and the expectations that the PI typically has is one that you can meet, then you go ahead and apply anyways. And I'll say that, if people who have worked with the person tell you he's still a great person to work with, you better listen, because yeah, sometimes it gets really tough. So I would say that, yeah, I mean, if you are still applying, you're still sending emails, you can't stop now. Keep on sending the emails. Try connecting with people on LinkedIn. LinkedIn most especially. Send the messages on LinkedIn. Send the emails. And then follow people who talk about research areas that you are interested in. And as they post their work, engage with them. So then when you send an email, they know that, oh, this person usually engages with my post, and they are likely to respond. And when all things go well, you'd kind of land the PhD opportunity that you are looking for. So yeah. Any questions?
Okay, thank you so much, Samuel, for this strategic point. I know that US is one country I find very complicated. Personally, I never applied to scholarships in the US, but I feel like that country is just complicated. So getting someone who, tells us how it works. I think I like the point where you mentioned that find who knows who you are looking for to make the access to the PI easy. I think that's a very good point. So this is also coming back to what Faith said earlier, where if you are looking for scholarship, you need to build a good and healthy profile on LinkedIn, because if you're looking for opportunities, people will also go see who you are before they even want to respond to you, right? So it's also a very good and important point that you guys should take note of. Let me quickly just look at the comment if there are any questions right now. Any questions generally about scholarship in the US? So I think one question that I would generally ask is if, for instance, someone wants to apply for programs other than trying to go through the graduate training route. I guess there are also scholarships that are at different probably in the universities and faculties. So would you say it is also okay for someone to just do cold emails for this kind of scholarships, or you just go straight to looking for the ones the university offers and just do a direct application? So based on your experience now working, you're not like a lecturer in the US, so we can get that insider advice. So what would you say should be what people should look at for, or how they can position themselves better to submit good applications in the US?
Right. So one of the first thing I'll say is that, like, you have to plan well ahead of time.
Great point.
Definitely, applications take a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort and energy. And in the
Yeah.
world of AI, when someone opens your, I mean, I'm getting this feedback a lot. Like when someone opens your essay and they realize that it's an AI generated essay, they'll probably not read it.
Yeah, they're no longer interested. Yeah.
I probably could have prepared better for this, but there are a few people I follow on LinkedIn, actually, like professors in the United States, that give advice on how to structure your SOP. One of them should be Jillian Goldfarb. She's at Cornell.
Cornell. Oh, and Cornell has very good scholarships.
Yes. Yeah.
About Cornell University scholarships on ScholarWaka website. Yeah, very familiar.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I want to grab her profile really quickly, and then
comment.
Yeah. So there are people on LinkedIn that usually give very good advice. She's one of them. She's the one that comes to mind immediately. So I'm searching her on LinkedIn right away. Yeah. So it's Jillian Goldfarb. Yeah. You can follow her page. She usually responds to connection requests, but following her page, I think, is enough. She posts a lot of advice on writing a good SOP. Yeah. And I think once you start following some of these people, the algorithm would generally, suggest more of such pieces. But yeah, I saved her I saved a lot of her posts. I think there was this time she sent in a structure of an SOP that she generally like if you follow this kind of structure, like it works, right? Being straight to the point. So open up your SOP with a very good catch intro, right? They are not interested in, oh, I grew up in here and there and there and there. That kind of thing. Like, yeah, you grew up somewhere, but how has that made you the person you are, and how has that like brought you to the point where you want to pursue a PhD, right? So if you're going to tell that story, it should be very quick and it should connect directly to why you are trying to pursue a PhD in a particular area. That's one. When it comes to institutional scholarships, there are it takes time. You have to get onto their websites, like go through it's so on the department level, on the college level, and then on the university level. So they are different fellowships. Mostly you don't have to apply for them. A lot of them are like merit based most of the time. Yeah, a lot of the time it's merit based. However, it's I've seen that it's usually like a first come first serve basis, right? So when they start reviewing the applications, maybe they have 5 opinions. They tell you that the deadline for the application submission is like 31st December, for instance. Somebody applied in November. The person who applied in November the application will probably be reviewed before the person who applied on the 30th of December. If there are only 3 scholarships to give out and they see an application in November, and they let it go, you may have a stronger profile, but by the time they read your profile, they would have probably already given out the scholarships. So I always say that apply early, give yourself 12 to 18 months. If you want to go to school in, say, whatever date you want to start school, your applications should start 18 to 12 to 18 months before that period, right? Because finding when you start applications, you realize that you start looking at the very popular schools, because that's all everybody knows. But like there are about 3,000 universities in the United States, and there are so many there are so many schools that I'm in the Philadelphia area. Like there are so many schools in the Philadelphia area that I didn't know about until I got here, but they are all here, So you start early. You can constrain your search based on your interest. And I'll say that if you're applying to the US, one of the things that could be useful is that you can also do a little research about the states and what kind of economic activity goes on there, because the kind of economic activity in the area dictates the kind of research or the kind of funding that the schools would have. So like schools that are in Texas, for instance, typically have a lot of funding for people that are trying to pursue anything in petroleum, petrochemical, chemical, geological related activities. If you're applying to schools in the Boston area, they are likely to have a lot more scholarships in healthcare, pharmaceuticals, stuff like that. If you're applying to schools in, let's say, the South Dakota region, they are likely to have scholarships for people who are trying to do something within the petroleum industry. So the difference, the different states kind of have what drives the economy. And so the schools in those areas to sort of align their programs to what drives the economy in the area. So you also have to do your research on that. And so like if you are, I'm coming from oil and gas. So if you are coming from oil and gas, you probably want to be applying to schools in like oil states or oil cities. And then with those ones, they're likely to, be generous with funding for people who are coming into that area, because they generally have partnerships with companies that, help them to fund students. So I'll say that applications take time, like 12 to 18 months is a good period to start pursuing your applications. And then like take your time and research the schools. I'll tell you this for free. If you see an ad on LinkedIn asking for saying that, this scholarship is available, don't waste your time. Just don't waste your time. A lot of the time, what happens is that after the scholarship has been given, like if it's a PI that's looking for somebody, like it's part of the grant application that they should advertise. But by the time they advertise, they've already found the person that they are going to admit, right? But then the institutional scholarship, the ones that you dig deep onto the website and try and find, those are the ones that you should go in for. But if you see, oh, like there's this guy Cosmos something on LinkedIn, he usually repost like PIs who are looking for students or like some kind of scholarships that you can apply for at certain universities. Don't waste your time. Like just, yeah, like take your time and do the research. Find schools and get into their financial aid section on the graduate level, on the department level, and then on the college level, like in the university wide, and then see what they have to offer. But like I was saying, a lot of these scholarships are merit-based. You don't need a separate application for them. Typically, the scholarships are either like graduate assistantship, where you teach. They call it teaching assistantship, but you barely teach. You probably help out with homework or lab sessions. And so that graduate assistantship will pay your fees and then give you some stipend, or a research assistantship, which I've been talking a lot about. The graduate assistantships, typically, you also don't have to apply for them for the most part. It's usually part of your application, right? That means your profile has to be strong. You have to have some kind of teaching experience or, tutoring experience one way or the other. And then once you get that out of the way, I think that a strong profile is what answers everything. A strong profile does not necessarily mean a 4.0 GPA. A strong profile is, being able to tell them exactly who you are and why you should be admitted, right? If your strongest point is your 4.0 GPA, then you can tailor your essay around your GPA. If your strongest point is that you're a people person, you can tailor your resume around you being, a people person, because like the previous presenter was saying, like they want to know the human version of you as well. And I bet you there are so many people with 4.0 GPAs, so you probably don't want to let that be your only like selling point. There should be something else about you that like you like will make somebody be like, okay, I would want to work with this person, right? Because at the end of the day, we are human beings after all. Like, you have to be able to have a conversation with your PI, for instance. You have to be able to sit sorry, I just looked at a question in the comment section and it just threw me off. But like, yeah. So yeah, there are just a few. I don't think I think I didn't prepare for this side. Like I didn't prepare slides for this side because the conversation was going to talk about how I got my scholarship, right? But then at the end of the day, like your SOP should talk about who you are as a person, why you are interested in what you're interested in, and then what you want to do in the future. And I'm just picking up this question that says, what are the standard sections of a USA CV for PhD study? I would say that once again, I'll refer you to Professor Gillian's page. She has some samples of CVs that you may want to look at. I think that generally you would want to start from a profile overview, and then bring in your educational your education, and then any research experience, and then any work experience that's relevant. Typically, the general advice is to keep it to one page. If you have any publications, conference presentations, those type stuff, you can also add it. And also with the schools that request IELTS, TOEFL, like if you're an English speaking student, you can just send them an email and be like, hey, I studied in English, I did all my stuff in English. Can you please waive this requirement for me? 9 out of 10 times they would waive it. Because a lot of the time, the information on the website is very outdated. Nobody goes to update the requirements on English speaking students and all of those things. Like nobody cares about that. So that information is usually outdated. So when a school tells you they want an exam to prove they can speak English, you can just send them an email and tell them you're from an English speaking country. You did all your coursework in English, and like everything you've done is in English, and so you are requesting for a waiver. Like I'm saying, 9 out of 10 times, they would waive the application for you. For the ban, I can't say anything about the ban. I have zero idea like what's going to happen next. Unfortunately, this administration is very erratic. So nobody knows what their next move is going to be. But then recently, a judge has struck down some of the USCIS policies on the like processing of they've struck down some of the USCIS bans on processing visas. But those like the ruling only governs those who are in the US already. They're just a little bit like there's a separation between the Department of State and the Department of Homeland Security. And so like Homeland Security can be sued in the US, Department of State cannot be sued outside of the US, right? So that's also like a little bit of the political side of things. So for those who are already in the US, a judge has recently struck down the pause on the visa processing, and so visas are going to be processed. But the people outside of the US, that goes to the Department of State, and the Department of State cannot be sued in the US for things that are happening outside of the US. That's where things get a little tricky. So this situation is very political. Like they just want some countries to do what they are looking for. So when the political leaders are not willing to budge, then these are some of the consequences. But then again, like that's not my domain. I'm just like telling you what I know.
Yeah. Anyways, that's also why we have other options for other countries. If US is not open to
exactly. Generally, this administration is not a very friendly administration. The Republican Party is not very friendly towards immigration. So hopefully, it's not very good news for somebody who's trying to apply now, but hopefully, November, when the elections happen and they lose in the Senate and in the House, it might change things a little bit. And then maybe when there's a change of government in 2 years' time, usually they reverse all of these decisions and things become a little bit more flexible. So, and then maybe I've seen other tips to guide in applying for a fully funded scholarship for a PhD in guidance and counseling. I would say that I think the format is pretty much the same. For some reason, and it'll actually surprise you that there's actually a lot of funding in the social sciences area, so I would expect that schools, you just have to do this. It all starts with doing your research well, right? A lot of state schools are really well funded. I'll probably want to make that distinction. For graduate programs, state schools are actually well funded. For undergraduate programs, private schools are much more well funded when it comes to undergraduate programs. But when it comes to graduate programs, you may want to look at state schools more than you look at private schools, right? If you're looking at private schools, then you'll probably be looking at the Harvards, the Cornells, the Rice Universities, Princeton's, Columbia, and those are the schools everybody wants to go to. So it can be pretty tough. But I would say that if you're looking for a PhD in guidance and counseling, I'll say look closely at state schools like the University of Maryland, Baltimore, University of Delaware. Just look at the state schools because the cities usually fund social interventions at this point. So I would not say that there's no point in applying for a PhD in the USA right now. Things can change. I'm saying, it takes 12 to 18 months to go through an application and be successful. So if you are going to start applying now, this is June. You're applying because you want to go to school at the earliest August of next year. Or January of 2028. So if that's the goal, then you go through that. MSc Public Health too. There seems to be a lot of funding in that area. There are a lot of students in my school, even though it's a private school, that got funding for public health. I'm saying, the social sciences, anything that's social sciences, typically the states and the cities fund programs that get people into some of those programs, because they try to meet some quotas and also try to get people to offer general social services to people, the community. So those areas are typically well funded, but it's not a one size fits all. You have to still go down and do your research very well, and then get the right information, and
Great point. Thank you so much, Samuel, for your time. I truly appreciate this. Personally, I think I've learned a lot from this session. I wouldn't say I'm a US person when it comes to scholarship, but I can see that there are opportunities there as well. I know that some African countries currently have ban, but like what Samuel just said, don't let the ban limit you to not apply for opportunities because things can change by next year. Or even if you put your application in today and the school take notes of your excellent application, they may also probably reconsider you when the ban is lifted, probably in the coming years when you apply again. So just keep applying and checking. And also more opportunities as well you can also apply for across the ScholarWaka website if you need to explore more scholarships. So thank you so much, Samuel, for your time. I really do appreciate this. Thank you so much, so much. And I hope you have a good day. Okay.
Right. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate. So, guys, we are almost at the end of our session. I just want to quickly mention, probably present the last bit of some information that will be very helpful for you guys. Okay, so someone just spoke. And so what do you guys think? I hope the information has been very helpful. Just drop for me in the comments what you feel like this session looks like. Trust me, guys, it takes us a lot to plan a workshop. In fact, this particular workshop, I almost like I beg, I don't want to do this workshop. It's stressful. To get speakers, to find what topic that we talk about, even the planning as well as ScholarWaka, it takes us a lot to do this, right? So, but I'm happy that we were finally able to do this, and I hope you guys find this very insightful. Let us know in the comments how much you find this helpful so that it will inspire us to do another one coming soon, right? So let us know in the comments what you think about this workshop in particular. So just to also mention some other ways that we support you as scholar workers. For those who might be wondering, oh, I have had a lot from us speakers. Oh, start now, start this, do this, find scholarship, start today. There's a lot that you guys might be worrying about. Oh, what do I do? How do I start? So here is how we support you as scholar worker. Like you guys know, we have our free resource that we share with you guys. And this you can find through our website, which I have shown to you guys how to find opportunity on our website if you join the call very early. We also have our scholarship guides as well, also on the ScholarWaka website. So you can also find that information as well on our website. So everything you need about how to find or apply for scholarship, we ensure that we find the scholarships for you. We simplify the application process for you and ensure that you are also able to apply for them, right, through our website or through the information on our website. And another thing we also do to help people to apply for scholarship is through our mentorship. We also have our services as well and our products. So our mentorship is where I'll come to our mentorship shortly in more details. Then for our services, there are people who are applying for scholarships and they want someone to have a look at what they have done. So this is where we help you to review your applications, review your essays, review your CV. As you can see, all speakers talked about ChatGPT, how you use AI to do or to write your essays or your applications. If you are looking for opportunities, you don't need to be lazy. You have to ensure that you tell your story and you use this AI tool to help enhance whatever you've written. For me, if you send me a draft, if I see it, I can tell you this is AI written. And if I were to give you a scholarship, I won't be able to give you, but I feel like this person is not serious, right? So this is part of the things that we help you to look at for, or we help you to review through our services. And also as well, we have some products also on our website that you can also, purchase on our website. Like if you want to get a scholarship tracker, you want to get scholarship database, we have some of these products on our website. So you could also check them out as well and get one that would also help and support you. Now, about our mentorship. So this is where I work very closely with those who are ready about the journey. Our mentorship is not for those who are lazy. It is not for those who just want help from Lucy and they're not ready to help themselves. It's not for those. It's for those who knows the importance of what they want to apply for, and they need someone who can be there to be their accountability partner. We help you with some scholarship information like updates on opportunities, step-by-step guides on how you can also apply for a scholarship. Say, for instance, you want to apply for a particular scholarship and you're not sure of the criteria, you're not sure of the guides. That's where we come in to give you that guide. And for those as well who are new into applying for scholarship, you have never applied for scholarship, you don't know what to do or how to do it. It's also where we guide. I see someone talking about, I want to apply for scholarship for PhDs and all of those. We also show you how you can also find scholarships at university website. Someone mentioned this really in during a session when we talk about hidden scholarships on university website. This is also where you can find scholarships, particularly for PhD programs, even masters and also undergraduates. Some scholarships are not very popular, but until you go to the school site, you would not know that these scholarships they exist. So these are some of the things we're going to teach you how you can find these opportunities, and very more importantly, how you can become independent to apply. Imagine I have 1,000 people. I can't help everybody. It's just me, Lucy, and I have a life, right? The goal is we teach you how this works, what you need to do, and how you can do it yourself confidently. And also, guys, it's not really about you coming to pay to join our mentorship class. You can also do all of these things yourself. If you go to my YouTube channel, I do share long videos. Like this morning. This morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. I made a video about the Brazil government scholarship. It was a 40 minutes video I recorded, and I had to edit it to 32 minutes. Imagine me taking my time to research about a scholarship, how you can apply for it, step-by-step process. If you go to that video and watch it and follow the steps that I have shown you on the video, you can do it yourself without me, without paying me, without wanting to say, oh, who can do it for me, right? So that's also how we also support you guys, through our free resources page. But if you feel like you need more closer mentorship guides, our mentorship class is also there. We also offer one-to-one, right? There were people that I worked with earlier this year who were applying for scholarships in the UK for PhDs. We went through pages, different school sites together. We found opportunities and we applied for so many opportunities. So if you need a more personalized support, because in our community, it's not just you, it's you and other people who are looking for scholarship. But if you want it to just be you and me, then that's our one-to-one mentorship. So I also provide that kind of support as well for those very few persons who are on this journey. So please note, our mentorship is not where you will come and you think that you have paid me and you will go and sleep. I can't do application for you and you think you're going to get it. No. It's something that you will have to get involved. You will tell your story, you will tell what you want. My own is to guide you and refine what you have written to make it look better for the scholarship body to see that yes, this is a good application. So mentorship is only for those who are serious and who are ready to commit their time and everything into the application. A mentor cannot be getting sleepless night and you that needs a scholarship will be sleeping and snoring at night. Now it's not possible. So it's for those who are really serious about the applications. Also, guys, we need your help. Remember I talked about we almost did not do ScholarWaka 2.0 workshop because we were tired. We have been doing a lot of underground work at ScholarWaka, and it's been so much on me and my team, right? I have a team of interns who have been working with me for over a year or so. Peace, kudos to you, Victoria and Jamie. I think they are here also on this call. These are interns that joined us at ScholarWaka since ScholarWaka was launched, and they have been doing so much to support us. So if you know that you have the capacity to write content, you know how to write, you love writing, please come and support us, come and help us. If you are good with social media, digital marketing, or you are good with administrative work, or you're also good with graphic design, please help us. The flyer you see for this workshop, I had to pay for it because my team do not have the capacity to design, do not have that capacity to be able to design flyers. So imagine me organizing a free workshop and I have to spend money to do all of this. If you can help us to do our graphic design, or you know how to write content, please come and support us. It's another way for us to also support you as well. Anyone who volunteers with us and support us, we also support you back by giving you mentorship, guiding you through your application process. So you do for us and we do for you. That's how it is. So if you have interest and you'd like to support us in any way you think you can, please reach out to us as well. We're very happy to hear from you. And these are also other ways that you can also support us as a ScholarWaka. You can also become our ScholarWaka community ambassador. This means that wherever you go, you talk about ScholarWaka. At the moment, I don't have money to pay you money to say be our ambassador. But if you feel like we are doing well, we are supporting a generation, we're supporting a nation, we're supporting people who are doing so well in what we do, and you know that you also have the voice to add to our voice to make to make this work, or for us to be able to spread this awareness to more people, please do what reach out to us. We're very happy to work with you, for it also joining us as well in this work. Also, if you see our posts on social media, whether through ScholarWaka page, my page, wherever, help us share, help us repost. That's also another way that we'll be able to, also spread the work we do. We are, like I said earlier, we are about a year plus old, and we are doing a lot. So far, what we have done so far in ScholarWaka has been organic. We have never done ads. We have never done anything that has to pay someone. It's been so much work and sweat from me and my team. So much money has gone into ScholarWaka. Yet we're still trying to build us to get to where we are. So in any way you can support us, through volunteering, through being our ambassador, through whatever means you can do, write to us. And here is my email down here. If you know that you can reach out, you can support us in any way, please write me an email, or reach out to me as well through my WhatsApp number that I'm going to show shortly, or also to my team as well. I will be very happy to see how we can amplify all we do and our voice here. And before I say thank you to everyone, let me just quickly go through the comments to see if there are any questions from anyone that I have not answered before we call it again. Trust me, guys, I have to be in church in 30 minutes and I'm still here. But let me quickly check to see if there are any questions. Is there anyone that have a question that is very crucial and they are still on this call and they want us to really attend to that question? Can you just raise your hand and we can bring you up to ask your question while I go through the chat? I don't want to. I want to leave here in the next 10 minutes. So if there's anyone who have any particular question, and you really want to ask, just raise your hands and we can bring you up while I go through some questions here. Any particular question from anyone? And guys, let us know what you think in the comments. How has it been? We're also going to send you guys a feedback form at the end of this workshop. Probably by early next week, you're going to get a feedback from us. We want you guys to share with us what you think about this particular workshop and what you feel like you would want to see in the next workshop. What are your feedbacks? What are your recommendations? What did we do well? What do you think did not go well? And what do you think we should do that would be probably better for you guys to see? We want to hear that first, so that in the coming months or in the coming workshop, we can also look at those feedback and give you the best that we can give you. So let's just drop in the comment what you think about this workshop. I'm seeing great feedback here from Paces, very insightful. Thank you all so much. Someone just said I'm interested. So if you want to become a volunteer with us, how do we volunteer? Just send us an email. No worries, we're going to send an email to you all that were in this call. If you registered for this workshop, we're going to send you an email with our volunteer form. So whatever you think you have interest in, just reach out to us. We really need you guys, your support in any way we can. It's also another way for us. Oh, someone said that I can fix flyers with joy. Okay, that's good. Oyenka, we'll be so happy to have you around. So whenever we have events, I've been spending money on banners. Like whatever banner you see on our page, I spend money to design the banner. So if people can do it for us, why not? It's also a way for you to support us as well. And if you are also great with writing content as well, we are currently enhancing our content on our website. If you know how to write, you love writing, or you want to learn how to enhance your writing as well, because we do train, but we must see that you have the passion for the work before we can train, because we don't want to spend our time to train someone who do not really have the interest. We do train as well. So if you are also good into that, you also want to be part of that, do reach out to us. But we're going to send you an email as well regarding this, so you can submit your interest. So guys, for unis, for patients, all of those who have shown interest in volunteering, you can reach out to us through the email I just shared, lucy@scholarwaka.com. Or if you are on our WhatsApp group, you can send me a message directly through WhatsApp. Just send message to the UK admin number. That's my WhatsApp group, my WhatsApp number. Or we'll send you an email soon with info on how you can sign up to be a volunteer. And trust me, coming to be a volunteer, we're also going to check as well your capacity if you're only able to work with us, because we also want people who are really serious about, impacting and giving us their time and their skills. Okay. Any question from anyone before we call it a day? It's been a beautiful. Okay, someone said I can help you manage your LinkedIn page. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, Faith. That's really, really great. Thank you for your delivery. It was a very amazing. Thank you so much. Any question from anyone? No answer up. Okay, that means that we are all happy and we are good to go. Um, that's great. Probably I will share my thank you screen again so you all can see the special thank you that we have here. So, guys, thank you all so much for your time. We really appreciate your time here. I hope this session was helpful. All I can say to you is you've heard everything from the speakers. All they have said is start now and start early. I have been saying this across all my social media pages for the longest. Start now and start early. In fact, Samuel said start 2 years or 18 months or 12 months before the time you want to get a scholarship. So if your goal is I want a scholarship by this time next year or by September next year, you need to begin now. So all I can say is we wish you all the best in your applications. If you have any questions, drop for us in our comment on our social media pages, on YouTube, however you can find us. Just drop your comment. We will try to help you as much as we can. But if you need any detailed and more personalized support, then our services or our mentorship will be the ideal place for you to sign up. And we are also giving a discount as well for our July mentorship class. So if any one of you here want to join our mentorship class for July, we're having a discount for that. And we're going to send an email to you guys regarding that discount. So if anyone is interested, only those in this class are going to get that special discount for our July mentorship class, because the goal is many persons just also need to get that very close support so they can get started and start well. So because in the coming days we're going to see more classes are going to open, and we want you to be well prepared, before those applications and scholarship opens. Okay, so that's it from us. At least let's get a thank you from someone. Can somebody come up to say, I want to say thank you to Lucy and the team? At least let me use that one to hold body this afternoon. Anyone, one or two persons want to say thank you or appreciate the team, want to come off camera to just say something to us? It'd be great to hear one or two persons' voice from the audience. Anyone wants to? Okay, Willie is here. Please,
Thank you, Lucy and the team. Thank you, ScholarWaka.
Thank you so much, Timmy. William, I can see your hand up. You have a question. I want to say thank you to us. Me, I like thank you a lot too.
Hello everyone. My name is Onyeka Uchenwere. Thank you so much, ScholarWaka, for this program. I also want to appreciate you, Pooh, for the opportunity to volunteer, because I've been looking out for such an opportunity to come close to the team.
Oh, okay.
Because yes, as we are all different in this group, that is how we have different degrees and different scholarship that suits us individually. We are all pursuing one thing, but there are some scholarships that want you to, if you are poor, come for this scholarship. If you are brainy, come for this scholarship. They have a
Yeah,
lot of things that they are looking out for. So that's what makes everyone unique, and that's what makes your story as well unique.
diversity. Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
come together as
Exactly.
a group. We'll be able
Mm,
to place people on the scholarship that will best fit their story.
yeah. Yeah.
So with
Yeah.
this volunteer opportunity, I really appreciate you people. God bless you people for this opportunity. God bless you.
Thank
God bless you.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Also have a question. Please, where is your WhatsApp group? Because I don't know when I clicked on this group. I don't know ScholarWaka, but I think I
Oh,
must
okay.
have clicked one of your link. So I think I just opened my email just to check, and I found your
Oh,
invite. I just quickly, this
okay.
is ScholarWaka, and I'm a scholar. I said, okay, let me walk through, and I opened it.
Oh,
So
okay.
please, if you have your
Okay.
WhatsApp group. We'll be happy to
Okay.
join. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
no
Thank you.
problem. We're gonna send that to you guys via email, how you can join our WhatsApp group. But if you just go to our website, www.scholarwaka.com, you're gonna see everything about us and also how you can join our groups everywhere and all our social media platforms. But email will
All
be
right.
sent by next week by our team, so you guys can also know more about us and all the information you need to know. Okay, guys, any more questions? If there's no more, we're gonna call it a day. Thank you all so much for your time. Any more last
Yes,
one? Okay, William, go on.
yes. Yes, I think this is the evening already. Good evening, ma.
Yeah, good evening.
Well, yes, I want to ask a question. I have two questions to ask before I give my vote of thanks.
Okay.
The first is regarding the recording. I'm going to get the recordings for this session.
Yes, we are going to. I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel, so you guys are going to see the recording for this session on YouTube. So once it goes live on YouTube, we're going to let you guys know as well via email. So you're going to get it. Yeah.
Okay, then in regards to what I think the first speaker said, and
Okay.
also I think the last also they made a statement of assisting candidates that are into scholarship applications. They are
Mm-hmm.
open to they are receptive. So you said you are going to volunteer or you are going to recommend them to these speakers. So when are we going to get the information concerning this, ma? I would love
Okay.
to ask.
Yeah, so I know the first speaker, Faith, said she has slots for a few persons that should be recommended. So we are going to randomly I know she has some already on her list. So I'm gonna check with her how many more she needs also recommend for her. And then we have been checking the chat to see people who have been, responsive and all of those. So we're going to also let you guys know. Probably in the feedback form, we will also ask if you need to speak to any of the speakers, and we can directly connect you to them if they have the capacity. So look out for the feedback form as well. We're going to add this as a question in the feedback form, and also probably why you want to connect with them, so we can know which to connect you with that really suits you. Okay, so we're going to add that also to the feedback form. For the second speaker, which is Brighton, he was open to say he was going to review for those who are applying for Chevening scholarship. So if anyone here is looking to apply for Chevening scholarship this year, it's a good time for you to begin to draft your application. Don't wait till 2 days to deadline before you tell us, please, I need Brighton. We can contact them on your behalf, which is also why we are here, to help you connect you to scholars who can also help review your application. So if anyone on this call is going to apply for Chevening scholarship, I would say begin your preparations now. And let's say even if it's a month before it opens, let them begin to look at your application for it, because they'll review, they'll give you feedback. You know, enough time would be good, right? And then if you have also interest studying in the US, or you need any time with Samuel as well, we can ask for his availability and connect you if need be. Yeah, so that's how it's gonna look like.
Okay, thank you very much, ma, for
Yeah.
the response. So over to my vote of thanks. I would want to appreciate that's the CEO of ScholarWaka. Yes.
Lucy.
Yes, Miss Lucy. I really, really appreciate all your efforts even when, first of all, like prior to this time, when I saw another workshop again, I was like, wow. Because this workshop, like how I put it, sets a foundation or gives you the insight of what you have to expect. It's like even a mentorship on its own. That's
Yeah,
what I
it's
would
so
say.
much. Yeah, so much information.
The speaker did excellently well. I don't know where that lady came from, but she was excellent.
But
Like
giving you guys
I was
bad
just
posts.
following. I saw
Ah,
that she's actually somebody that has the interest of people at heart. Like she really wants to assist, give every detailed information she knows about, you know. So she did very well. I don't know if there's a way I can even connect to her, but she is good. Yes, I really do appreciate her. And this cannot, or this should not have happened if not for the fact that ScholarWaka, you know, came up with this initiative to help people. So I really want to say thank you very much, Ma, for this workshop. I don't even thank you is not enough because we are supposed to be paying for this workshop to
That's what we paid
partake. We
for, but
also
you see, we're doing it for free. That's why I want you guys to come and help us. Come and volunteer to help me save the little money I have.
yeah. So I'm even ready to volunteer. Yes. So it's not just me taking from the community. So let me also give back. Yes, I would love to
Yeah,
volunteer. Yes. So
yeah,
thank you very much. I
yeah.
really do appreciate
Thank you all so much. Really appreciate your time. We've been here for 3 hours and 15 minutes now, so I have to call it a day. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate your time, and I hope to see you all in our next workshop. Plus, do well to follow us across all our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, my page, ScholarWaka page. You guys should just go and follow us. At least let us be growing everywhere. We want to be everywhere. Okay. All right, thank you all so much. You're going to hear back from us next week via email about the next step. And I wish you all a beautiful weekend. Bye from us. Bye, 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 bye.
it. Bye, Ma.
Yeah.